we are back for the second time today.
Long time no see, guys. Long time no see.
Long time no see. If you guys are wondering what just happened, we literally just hopped over from another stream to this one.
Yeah.
I just hit the old hyperspace button, and there we was, man.
That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think we kind of we did time travel, guys.
Yeah, one universe to the next, one paradigm to the next, one time to the next.
It's good to see you guys.
I'm still phasing in and out. I can see.
So now we have to concentrate on the debate with Craig. What do you think he's going to actually chat about?
Wow.
Probably the same crap that he always says.
Yeah.
You know?
What's gravity?
But his whole thing is going to be about how he's got empirical evidence, which he doesn't, and how he's much smarter than you, and how you're not educated, and so that'll be pretty much his whole preamble, and probably the answer to any question that you give him. So,
yeah. So all of that what Sob said will prove the globe, obviously. You know.
There you go.
Insane. But yeah, I'm going to hold him up to his empirical evidence, as he claims, so. But yeah, I'm
just glad he hasn't got the buzzer that he did when he was debating.
Oh yeah.
Sov.
But hopefully you can get it sorted, a new kind of thing with Jaren. I like what you've been saying, Sov. I think it can work better. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction, because that's what they rely on, is interrupting you and not letting you finish your point. They'll butt in and then start bloviating about some unrelated shit, and it loses the audience. It loses everybody, including yourself. And then when you come back and finish your point, it's sort of like walking into a party and just saying a punchline to a joke. It doesn't work.
Sleeping Warrior, I'm definitely going to ask him to define gravity. That's one of my questions. And the optical effect based on general relativity. He doesn't believe it's an optical effect, though, even though he admits it. He's kind of a moron. He's a contradicting moron, sir.
Yeah, I think his biggest thing is being condescending with an authoritative attitude. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But like I said, I hope he brings up gas pressure gradients with Mount Everest. I'm going to bait him into bringing that up for sure. And then I want him to bring up horizon rising to eye level. And
relative.
And because then I'm going to show him what a kind of literal ignoramus he is.
Yep.
But yeah, those are the two main arguments I want to do tonight: is gas pressure and horizon. I don't really care for the Coriolis and stuff, because it's the same old spiel with the guy. He's just going to keep on, you don't understand, you know. Foucault's pendulum.
What is actually the title for tonight then, instead of it being...
It's globe versus flat, but it was supposed to be biblical Earth.
Exactly.
He doesn't debate biblical Earth. He only does science.
I knew that would happen.
So, sorry for him. I'm still going to bring biblical Earth into it, because that is what flat Earth is.
Absolutely.
I'm a biblical Earther.
So on.
Because I'm going to ask him straight. According to you, Craig, Steelman, what the flat Earth model is. And then I'm going to do what he did to you, Sov. Since it's your claim.
Yeah. Since you brought it up, you're the one that said it.
They're gonna laugh at him. Oh wow. Hey, Godzilla 37, good to see you. Thank you for your $5 super chat, mate. Really, really appreciate it. He says, you have to be cordial. I don't fuck Craig. I'll be as cordial as I can. I'll probably laugh a lot at him. But yeah, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate the support, man. You rock. Okay. I think let me quickly go and get a drink again and go to the bathroom, get freshed up, maybe do some push-ups to get my blood pumping. You two talk amongst yourselves so long.
All right. Yeah. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. I can't. This guy's going to get smacked twice in the same week. That's what I'm seeing, man.
Exactly. He's a glutton for punishment. Glutton for punishment, man.
That noise you're hearing. That noise you're hearing in the background is my wife is getting the dogs food. I had forgotten to get their food.
The big dogs.
4 of them are big, and one of them's that little yipper that I had up on my lap earlier. I got 3 German Shepherds and a Pit Bull Red Tick mix.
Big enough then.
Yeah. And that Pit Bull dog is nothing but solid muscle. She is nothing but solid muscle, man.
Nice.
And the sweetest thing in the world. It's so funny. I was over there and I always started loving on my wife and kissing her. And here comes Peanut. That's her name. She jumps up on the couch next to her and starts putting her face in between us and stuff. And then starts taking her paw and pushing me away. Like, okay, you can go away now. You can. This is my mom.
It's excellent. Animals. Vicky loves dogs as well. I love animals as well, but she was more of an animal person than me. But I don't think I'd be without a dog now. I was an animal person as a kid, and then I kind of, obviously because of drugs and that through my past, I just didn't deal with that. Never had nothing against animals, obviously, but it wasn't until I started going with Vicky that I appreciate them again.
If I had unlimited resources and unlimited room, I would have so many dogs. It's not even funny. I love them. They all have such unique personalities.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's funny, man. I can tell when one of them's harboring a grudge, or something like that with me. Like I had to cut Brandy's. She hates getting her nails cut, right? She hates it. In fact, if I clip my nails, the sound of it makes her go get in the other room or something. She don't like it. She starts getting all nervous. Wow. But after I cut her nails, she's fine. And right after I cut them, though, she's like, she won't even look at me. She'll turn her head. And if I talk to her, she'll turn her head the other way.
Yeah. I just have to tell the guys, the reason I'm doing push-ups and stuff is to get the blood pumping, because I've been awake for many hours. And I'm not going to get sleep for many hours. And I hardly had sleep last night. So I think I need to get my blood pumping. If you exercise a bit, I don't know if you guys ever figure this out. If you exercise a bit and your blood gets pumping, you're more in tune to what's going on. So
right.
Yeah. It gets you a lot.
What character would Craig be on Dragon Ball Z? Turd shit.
Couldn't tell you. I don't watch it, so I haven't got a clue.
He'll be turd shit on some multiple parallel universe. I don't think he really deserves to be on Dragon Ball Z as a character, to be honest.
He might be into that anime stuff, man. He might be into like that real subversive anime, some of that tentacle porn and stuff like that.
But thank you very much for your super chat, LJ. Really appreciate it, man. But if I had to actually give him a DBZ character,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know who I would actually give him, because I don't think he really deserves a character.
He's his own character.
Maybe Mr. Bobbity, because he's useless and he relies on everybody else to do everything for him. Yeah, Mr. Bobbity. Thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, he'd have to be his own cartoon. I mean, you couldn't just place him into an already existing cartoon. He'd have to be like his own show.
Captain Refraction.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't worry. We're definitely bringing. Fat Margin Blue says LJ. I'm definitely going to bring up what is science for Craig. I'm going to test him on the scientific method.
Yeah, right. So when have people observed mass attracting mass again? So that in order for Cavendish to have done this experiment, what? Nobody's ever observed this, but you're going to do an experiment. I'm going to do an experiment to see if bees talk. Well, what? Some dumb shit, man.
Splat's being a contortionist, by the way.
Oh no, sorry, I'm just doing some handstand push-ups.
I used to do those.
Commander press ups.
You see, the thing is, I'll probably do that on screen to show him gravity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Retro Ball, thank you very much for your $2 super chat, man. He says, ask about the IV for Cavendish. Cause equals distance. Oh, that's definitely going to come up
Mm-hmm.
because the cause is supposed to be gravity, correct?
That's what he
This is
said.
one thing you didn't understand. So when you say distance is the cause, so not gravity then. The guy's an idiot.
I'm gonna go grab a coffee, guys.
I got to check if my emails are in it. Oh, I got the link. Has he sent the link yet? Oh, there we go. Well, Ryan sent the link for the debate. Okay, so I'm going to have to cancel my video on here so I can use it on.
Gotcha. This is why I love my dual screen. I've got us up over here, and I've got MDD over here on this other screen.
Yeah, I can't wait
So I can
to
watch them
join
both.
there. Let's see, is it even showing me now?
I got it set up. I'm actually got.
Hey guys, I just want to see if I can get my video sorted out.
Yeah.
Shot.
If it's giving you trouble, you might have to back out and come back in, but you should
Okay.
be okay.
Shot. Okay, let me see if
You
I
got
can.
lots of time still.
I wonder if I can set my in settings here. Is there a way to do your settings in Restream itself for the video? It should be there. There we go. Video. Let's change that to. There we go. So that didn't work. Now it should work there. Hey, okay. It's working.
Go eat.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna go talk to them.
Video was working.
I'll see you guys in. I'm gonna probably have an after show, so it'd be great to see you guys. Would you want to come in afterwards?
Mhm.
If you guys do send super chats, I will. PJ, would you maybe try to save them for me? All the super chats, then we can go after it in the after show. Would that be fine?
Uh-oh, where'd he go?
No idea.
I'll ask him when he comes back.
Awesome. But you ask him.
Yep.
Shot. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So I'm gonna mute on the side, and then I'm gonna go to them. Shot.
They got 5 minutes before they start. And this guy's usually late anyways. You there yet, PJ?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you hear Flatzoid? He said he asked if you could save his super chats for him.
Oh
so
yeah,
that
no
he
problem.
can do them in the
Yeah,
after
yeah.
show. Cool.
Yeah,
man.
no problem. No problem.
So yeah, I've got modern day debate up. I've got this up, and I've got the restream up right here.
I've just got the YouTube up for I'm just watching it on Flatzoid, I think.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, they can hear you talking through. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, right. We'll go mute myself. Later,
Shot,
so.
guys.
The Flat's going to go first, if that's all right, Flatzoid.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right.
Doesn't
excellent.
matter.
Thank you so much for that. And of
I'll bring
course,
up
you
a
know,
make notes for your evidence. I'm sure I won't need it. I'll just bring up a small notepad, I guess.
oh yeah, and you know, obviously all the standard YouTube rules, you know, just stay away from anything that can get us in trouble. You guys already know what those things are, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just behave ourselves because I think FTFE is already streaming. So
Yeah, I won't talk about the secret NASA moon base. I could get in trouble for that.
shit. Oh, I thought you said something else. Okay, sorry. I thought it was.
I don't know what you think I said.
We're carrying on. All right. don't get me in trouble here. All right, yeah. I gotta mute my stream.
Chatting to celebrities, yes, that was amazing having Dom Jolly on yesterday. Cryptoverse 5 pounds, show him the Meso's launch rectilinear lens, not fisheye, amateurs, not NASA, exactly what they demand to see, but none of them are able to address it. Mr. E-Man, $5 Australian, I don't know that I can withstand the brain trauma of Mindshot Monday, you sadistic individual FTFE. Well, you know I just like to punish you guys, so.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad that you're getting your PR in because we're gonna get started here in just 1 second, all right? So let's get Mosey in.
How you doing, Keith? Anyway,
Sorry?
how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm doing. Yeah, I haven't spoken in a while. I'm doing good. I haven't slept in a long time. Last night I went to bed at 2 a.m. and woke up at 6, and I've been awake ever since now, and it is now 2 a.m. again.
Because, you know, tearing out your entire meniscus and then ripping your patella ligament at the same time kind of isn't conducive to going to sleep.
Mm-mm. But how are you doing mentally for that though? You doing okay?
I just activate a new clone every now and then so I can take a rest. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna say, last time I think you had injured your hands and now you injured your legs. I gotta ask, how do you do this? Like, are you just?
I just said I am the most accident-prone person in the world. Honestly, the current injuries I've kind of done to myself by going to the gym and maybe going a little bit hard. But it all stems from injuries from the military.
Makes sense. All right. I think we are good to go. I'm just going to pause the stream because I don't need it running in the background. Just potential to lower our frame rate for no reason.
Just my side, any other super chats or questions? Obviously, I can't respond during the on Modern Day Debates channel. I will, after I finish on theirs, I'm going to respond to all of your questions on this site. So thank you for the support in advance.
All right, thank you for that, FTFE. You know, my usual concern with people who are co-streaming is that instead of engaging with the debate, they're going to be engaging as a character for their audience. So yeah, I do appreciate them doing that. So let's. I think we talked about that last time. But I don't worry about you. You're yourself. Don't worry. All right, let's roll it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Modern Day Debate. We're going to be debating flat versus globe. And to get us started, we have 10 minutes on the floor for Flatzoid. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. And the floor is yours.
hey, thank you guys. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, Nathan, for letting me sit in for this. I don't even need 10 minutes, to be honest. But it's good to be here, and I really appreciate that Craig's giving the time for this. I will first start off with saying, yes, I'm a biblical earther, so that means the cosmology is actually still biblical earth, even though Craig doesn't like debating biblical earth. So I just have to give that a shout out. So yeah, and one thing I will bring up tonight, which is a given, which Craig will have to demonstrate, is how you can violate gas laws. Because the claim for the globe is always, you do not need containment to have gas pressure. So I'm going to expect a demonstration where you can actually go and violate this. Not point to the sky, demonstrate it. The second point I would be putting up is that we always get is the horizon is a physical place for a sphere, which is false. By definition, a horizon is an apparent optical position where the sky and the earth appear to meet. So if you want to claim it is a physical earth blockage, you will have to demonstrate and substantiate that with evidence. We will also bring in with the horizon rises relative to eye level, because I figured that globies don't understand what the word relative means. If you are going to rise relative to eye level, it means no matter your altitude, the horizon will always be in your eyesight line of view. Is the horizon physically above eye level? No, the water's physically below you, but due to perspective, it rises relative to eye level. What else would I bring up? Coriolis effect. Not really much to talk about, as it's just very simply, if you're going to say Earth has Coriolis effect, you can't claim conservation of angular momentum, because then there is no effect to observe. If you claim Coriolis and have no conservation of momentum, then we would actually see the deviations, but we do not do so. So I think that's all I really need to bring up now, because we will just hinge on Craig trying to demonstrate anything for his claims of the globe. Thank you.
All right, so we have 10 minutes on the floor, going over to FTFE. So thank you so much, Flatzoid. A little quicker than I was expecting, but that's cool. We're always having fun. And if you're having fun and you're excited for what we're about to discuss, hit the like button, and we're going to hand it over to FTFE. Thank you for being here again.
Well, that was interesting. 4 strawmans of the globe plane. Brilliant. I mean, I don't really need to address any of them, because none of them were evidence for the flat Earth. So I did write down the things that Flatzoid said there, but well, I'll move that out of the way for now. All right, so yeah, we've got horizon. Thank you, Globe. The horizon is literally an effect of the curve of the Earth. I do appreciate you bringing up the horizon debunking the flat Earth, because it's something that can exist on the flat Earth due to angular things being possible. Yeah, we have an atmospheric pressure gradient, which is not only an example of, but a prediction of gravity acting on gas. I can look at the sky all I want. I don't care if you tell me that I can't. The sky can show things happening in reality. So if you tell me I'm not allowed to use reality and nature and natural things, then you're just saying I can't do science, which is kind of something I disagree with. So yeah, gravity, which is something that specifically acts with a over the squared, which means as it moves away in distance, it decreases in the amount of attractive force, which gives the prediction of 1, Earth being a sphere when it reaches a certain mass, and 2, that there will be a different attractive force acting on the gas of the atmosphere the higher you rise in altitude, which means that as you raise in altitude, there's going to be less attractive force pulling down, which means that there's less pressure at that point. We see this demonstrated in reality. I don't care if Flatzoid says that I can't use the sky in reality. I'll just use Mount Everest as an example of this. At the base of Mount Everest, the air pressure is 14.7 psi. As you go up to the summit of Mount Everest, it's about 6 psi. There is no container in between those levels of gas. So the claim that gas needs a container is just something that flat earthers say. Pressure is just force over area. Nowhere there does it say, but gas needs a container. But if Flatzoid wants to talk about containers, cool. Gravity acts as a container. And here's the killer for the flat Earth's container argument. All of the pressure that exists anywhere, be it on Earth, out in space, in the vacuum of Flatzoid's head, any of those areas, they're all contained within the universe. So yeah, there's 2 containers for you. Stop asking for containers, because there's containers. The universe contains everything that is in the universe. It's kind of the nature of the thing. And obviously on Earth, the atmospheric gradient is created by gravity. It's simple examples, right? We want to talk about how science works. Science is very, very, very simple. You observe something, you make a guess about why that thing is happening, and as Richard Feynman says, you compute the consequences of that guess, which is a prediction, and then you test that against reality. That's what the globe does every single time. The empirical evidence of gravity, which is the main backbone of all the arguments around this, exists everywhere. Experiments are done all of the time. The Cavendish experiment, which I've done, I don't need to show it because I've done that hundreds and hundreds of times on my channel. Gravity is an empirical fact that exists. Everything that Flatzoid brought up in his introduction was, and let me be clear here, not something I even need to address, because they were all strawmans of the globe plane. So I don't really need to go on with my intro, because I'm kind of just waffling, to be honest. I didn't prepare any for this debate. So let's just get into an open discussion and have Flatzoid display his ignorance of actual physics and science.
All right. Well, that's both of our speakers' introductions. So thank you to both of you for your introductory statements. I want to remind everybody, if you're just hanging out for the first time at Modern Day Debate, we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, politics, religion. We do hope you feel welcome. We try to welcome everybody here into this space. Yeah, once again, we are going to do a Q&A as per usual at the end of the discussion. So if you have a question, super chats will be read with priority. To understand that we may have limited time as well. So get them in early and they'll be asked early. So open discussion, floor is all yours, guys.
Great.
Yeah. Just what's this nonsense about gas pressure? How are you guys still not getting this? Seriously.
Okay. Can I quickly rebut your openings? Is that fine? Just we can start at gas pressure because that's the one I really wanted you to talk about. First of all, I'm going to educate you.
You're not. You're gonna.
Oh yes, I am.
Well, let's give him at least a minute here to clarify his response to what he just heard.
I will not interrupt anymore. I do apologize. Over to you, Flatzoid.
This is okay. This is going to be easy. Mount Everest, is it part of Earth's mass?
Yes, it is.
So should it attract the gas the same through Earth's mass?
The attractive force of Mount Everest is slightly more at that point, but the overall mass of Earth is way bigger than Mount Everest.
But you said it's part of Earth's mass, correct?
Yes, but with the air isn't being attracted by Mount Everest, it's being attracted by the entire mass of Earth.
Do we see gas attracted to Mount Everest?
There's a pressure gradient at the bottom, so yeah, we do.
No, you don't see gas attracted to Mount Everest.
Well, I just said that we do and told you how we do. You
Prove it.
Into that from being
Okay, you literally just conceded Mount Everest is part of Earth's mass. Then you conceded that the gas is at the bottom, not at the top, correct?
There's gases at the bottom and at the top, yeah.
Well, more at the bottom, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, because the entire mass of Earth is the thing that is mainly attracting the gas, and the mass of Mount Everest compared to the mass of Earth is tiny.
Sorry, but
influence. I'm in the middle of saying a thing. I do apologize. The amount of attractive force by Mount Everest is tiny, and will not affect the air in the same way that the Earth will, because the Earth's mass is much more, creating a much larger attractive force.
But Mount Everest is part of the same mass.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, let's put it this way. In a similar, let's say you got a boat on the ocean. You would say that boat has a mass.
Correct.
And I go and put containers on that boat. Does it change the overall mass of that boat?
Yes.
So Mount Everest.
Well, okay, to be clear, no, the mass of the boat hasn't changed. You've added extra mass onto the boat, creating a sum of total mass of the boat and the container.
Great. But would that boat now with the sum of total mass have more attraction because the mass has increased?
More attraction to what?
You say mass attracts mass. So would it have more attraction because there's more mass?
Specifically.
Does the boat with the containers have more mass?
Yes, it does.
So will the attraction be greater?
The attraction to what?
To the mass, the boat.
To what mass? You're asking, will the attraction of the boat be greater to the boat?
If it has a greater mass, will the attraction be greater, Craig?
Will the attraction be greater towards what? Can you
the boat.
Will the boat's attraction towards the boat be greater?
No, we're talking about gas pressure here. This is what we're talking about. So will the gas pressure be attracted to the boat because the boat has more mass now?
Each individual molecule of gas will have a slightly stronger attractive force to the overall sum of the boat and the containers than just the boat on its own. However, that force created by the overall sum of forces of the boat and the container is so small as to basically be considered negligible compared to the entire mass of the Earth.
Great. So Cavendish then null and void.
Not at all, no. You've just displayed that you do not understand the Cavendish experiment.
Sorry, did you not just say Mount Everest or the boat would have such a minuscule effect that it will be overridden by Earth's gravity?
Just to let you know, Flatzoid, what I'm going to do is every time you interrupt me, I'm going
Sorry,
to...
Ryan, can I ask you to moderate and ask him to actually
I was gonna
answer
say,
my questions when I ask, instead of him trying to say, instead of interrupting me like a little child, just answer the question, because he's supposed to be grown up.
Well, I was going to say, at any time you guys can ask me to either go into muted rounds, we can go into a cross-examination. Like I said, I don't mind.
Don't need to go into meeting rounds. I'm just explaining what I'm going to do to the audience on day debate. Every time Flatzoid interrupts me, I will just stop talking, point out that he's interrupted me, and then once he's finished what he's saying, continue what I was saying whilst ignoring the interruption, just so everybody is aware. So back to the Cavendish experiment. The Cavendish experiment is set up that the entire apparatus is under the attractive force of the Earth, allowing you to measure the very small attractive force that is sideways compared to the attractive force of Earth pulling the entire apparatus downwards. More than one force can exist at the same time. Again, to be absolutely clear, the entire apparatus of the Cavendish is under the same downward acceleration due to gravity. That means that we can then measure the attractive force sideways, because everything is being pulled down the same amount. We can then say, oh, well, there's also this measurement sideways. We can measure the attractive force sideways by changing the distance between the masses, which is the IV in the experiment, which will increase or decrease the attractive force between the masses, which is the DV in the experiment. There we go.
Okay.
To give him a chance to respond to some.
Okay, no, it's fine. You brought up a few points there. First of all, you just conceded then you would have an attractive force sideways to Mount Everest, which debunks your claim. Secondly, sorry, an IV for Cavendish, what is the IV supposed to be? The cause is supposed to be gravity. Why are you saying distances between masses? What is gravity? Would you please define for us what gravity is, Craig?
Well, I'll respond to each thing that you said first, because you said three things. The first thing was you said something about the attractive force of Everest. Well, the Everest is not an experiment set up to measure attractive forces. Nobody is denying that the mass of Everest will have a very, very, very small attractive force on the things around it. Very, very, very small. Just like in the Cavendish experiment, the attractive force between the two masses is very, 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 very small, which is why the apparatus is so precise and set up in that way. Also why it's very hard to measure it as accurately as we would like. You can't just debunk it by saying, well, the mountain should attract air. It does. We just don't have the apparatus to measure it. But we can measure the attractive force between the masses in the Cavendish experiment. In an experiment, the IV is something that changes the DV. The DV is the attractive force. The IV is the distance between the masses that changes the attractive force. That matches the predictions of gravity. Now, what was the next thing that you said? That was that actually, each one of your points.
No, it wasn't.
So, yeah.
Define gravity.
Gravity is an attractive force between masses created by the curvature of space-time.
Nope, sorry, that's false. Okay, first of all, I'm going to correct you again. Based on you just said that the gas would be attracted to Mount Everest. We just don't have the apparatus to measure it. In other words, you're conceding then it's a belief and you have no empirical evidence for it. So therefore, it's null and void to say you can use Everest as your demonstration. Just like I said, pointing to the sky is not a demonstration. Secondly, your IV is supposed to be the cause for the effect observed. You are claiming gravity is the cause for Cavendish, correct?
No, Cavendish measures the gravitational forces, not the cause for Cavendish.
So Cavendish cannot be used then to claim gravity is the force for the acceleration of masses. Well done. So you have a null and void conceded. You cannot use Cavendish to claim gravity is a force. Congratulations.
I'd just like to point out to the audience what Flatzoid does here. He constantly says that I've conceded when I've done no such thing. What Flatzoid has done is misunderstand things and then claim that I've conceded something that I clearly haven't. It's not my fault that he doesn't understand. There's a hypothesis that mass is attracted to mass. That's what this is. And that means that the hypothesis is that all mass attracts mass. But we need to figure out a way to measure it. So the measurement is the prediction that there will be an attractive force that's proportional to the product of two or more masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That's a prediction. How do we test that prediction? We create an experiment to test if there is that attractive force at the ratios that I just said. We set up the Cavendish experiment because the Cavendish experiment is able to test if there is an attractive force between masses, which is a prediction, which is, as Feynman said, the computation of the assumption. That is the prediction that Cavendish will do this thing if our claim about gravity is correct. Cavendish is just a verification of an assumption and a prediction. It's the experiment for that. And I can absolutely use the base and summit of Mount Everest. Let's remove Mount Everest from it because I was just using that as an example of elevation. Let's just go anywhere on Earth. At the sea level, it's 14.7 psi.
Sorry, I have to stop him. He's obfuscating from the point now. He's trying to run away.
Well, let's give him 10 seconds. We'll hand it back to you.
Just like to point out to everyone where Flatzoid interrupted me there as I was in the middle of saying.
Yeah, because you're obfuscating. I had to stop you from obfuscating.
Give him his 10 seconds, and you can respond.
Everybody in my chat would just like 5. Keep pointing out. So yeah, the atmospheric pressure gradient is my example of gas pressure without a containment, because everywhere on Earth, the gradient is such that there is no container between each layer of the atmosphere at a different pressure gradient.
All right, we'll let you respond there, Flatzoid.
Awesome. Okay, like I said, I had to educate you on this. First of all, no one says there's containment between the gradients. The gradient is in the same system. The universe is a hypothetical, isolated system known as the boundary. There is no such thing as an actual isolated system. It's a hypothetical, so therefore given to the universe. Now, Earth is considered an open system. This open system would be acquainted to an open fish tank inside another vacuum chamber. If that fish tank was opened to gas and you had a vacuum chamber around it, which would be the isolated universe, the gas inside that fish tank will disperse into the available volume. This is called entropy. Why is it that your gravity that is not seen as a force for 109 years, which is just an optical effect, by the way, based in fourth dimension mathematics, is not actually observable in reality?
It is observable in reality. We can measure it in reality. The pressure gradient is, let's be clear, a prediction of gravity, right? And here's the thing, right? You ask for a container. The universe is the container, right? You can say it's hypothetical as you like, but so is your magic dome. So, right, can I actually just screen share for a second?
Did I say anything about a dome, guys?
Well, you sure can, but if you want to address them.
Okay, yeah, I just want to address him first before he moves on. Craig.
Okay, just 1 second there, Flatzoid.
Flatzoid, if you can be quiet while I do this, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, but while you're doing that, before you move on, I just want... Sorry, is this how unfair this bias has to go towards me? I am literally asking him not to obfuscate from the point. Sorry, you have been talking a lot more than me.
I was going to say, we'll give you a chance to inject here. I know you wanted just to screen share there. We were going to go into something, so I do apologize, Flatzoid. If you got something you want to pull back into before we move on, go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, you can screen share now. I just want to find out, Craig. Remember, I asked you specifically for a demonstration. You have not pointed to the sky, and I know what he's going to screen share now. And notice those results show different every single time because it's inconsistent. Now, anyway, we're going to get to that. Where does it say I need to have containment between every pressure gradient? Because the argument is the pressure gradient is already in a contained system because we live in a dynamic system. You pointing to the sky and saying, look, pressure gradient is literally you ignoring the need for the antecedent, which would be containment, to have that pressure gradient. That's my point.
All right.
Yeah, just to onto that universe as a container, I've debunked what you just said. But anyway, to show that there is an attractive force, even from mountains, do you see my screen? I don't need to screen share, I'm just showing it from my camera.
Charles Hutton theoretically chopped the mountain into what's become known as contour lines. It's the first time they were used. from this they can work out the weight of Schehallien. But it was a big step to go from that to working out the weight of the world. Nevertheless, Maskelyne had a go. This is what he did. He dangled a long plumb line on a platform 2/3 of the way up the mountain. He knew 2 gravitational forces would act upon it. The main gravity would obviously be coming from the mass of the Earth, pulling it down. But the mass of the mountain itself would pull the plumb line towards it, slightly off vertical. We've exaggerated it here. That gravitational effect is what he measured. From the angle the plumb line was deflected, Maskelyne could calculate the mass of the Earth relative to the mountain.
Right, and so what this video goes on to say, I won't play the whole thing, but what it goes on to say is that they redid the experiment and managed to get the same results, and it's been repeated with more and more precision over and over and over. And every time an experiment like this is done, it matches the predictions of gravity. So yeah, if we have the right tools, we actually can measure the attractive force of a mountain, pulling mass towards it as well. So yeah, that kind of debunks everything you've said.
Okay. Contradiction alert. First of all, you said we can't use Everest because it doesn't attract it because Earth overrides it. Now you're literally making my point when you're saying the mountain is causing the attraction. Oh boy, so it can attract a pendulum, which is anyway substantiated by Bernoulli's principle. Do you know how Bernoulli's principle works, Craig?
Yeah, tell me, please. Tell me how Bernoulli's principle affects a pendulum, Bob. Please.
The movement of the gas through a tighter space causes a low pressure area, which causes the greater pressure to push the pendulum in, which means that's why it's attracted to the mountain. It's called wind.
It's not a contained system.
This is the best the globe's got, guys.
Contained thing.
And it gives inconsistent results.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, really? You even said it keeps getting changed over and over to get it more consistent. So would that be different results?
No, I didn't. I said the measurement has become more and more accurate.
So it isn't consistent then?
Seven, guys, 7. Yeah, I was saying something, Russell interrupted me there. So getting more and more accurate results is not getting inconsistent results. It's just being able to measure things more accurately. But no, you lied about what I said, because in this very conversation, I said that yes, Everest would have an attractive force on the air around it. We just don't really have a way to measure that. But I said I brought up this experiment, which is with Schehallien, which is actually easier to measure the attractive force because Schehallien is literally the most symmetrical mountain in the world, allowing us to, make a lot more accurate measurements of things. So I didn't say the thing that you said. I did not say that Everest wouldn't do it. I just said we have no way of measuring it. Please do not put words in my mouth.
Okay, now I got another question. If they did Schehallien on top of the mountain, would it give the same result as to the bottom of the mountain?
Sorry, ask the question again.
If they did Schehallien on top of the mountain compared to the bottom of the mountain, would it give the same results?
Schehallien. If they did it at the top of the mountain, they would have slightly less of an attractive force pulling sideways. So they would get a slightly different result. But actually, the experiments were done at multiple points up the mountain.
And they all had different results.
11. Apparently that's 11, so that'd be 12 then.
Sorry, Craig, can we ask this guy to actually stay with the debate instead of talking to his people in his chat the whole time? Because I can't actually talk with someone who can't concentrate more than 2 words I'm saying. I know it's difficult, Craig, but you can't concentrate to what's actually being said because you're contradicting yourself every time you speak.
Okay, back to what I was saying before you interrupted for the 13th time. I didn't contradict anything that I said. I just said we have no way of measuring the air being attracted to Everest. That's it. There's no contradiction there. But I just showed an experiment that shows that there is an attractive force by mountains pulling things sideways. And that experiment has been done multiple times at different areas of the mountain, matching predictions of the attractive force at each point.
Great, you finished. So you admit it, you cannot measure gas attraction then.
I said you cannot measure the air being attracted towards Everest.
Yes. Okay. Concession. So please show us how you can empirically show us how gas is attracted to Earth, please.
Easy. Put gas in a container. That container now weighs more than beforehand.
What is gas? Define gas for us, please.
You can find gas. Is your question.
Sorry, didn't I just ask you the question?
Yeah, but I don't want to play the game.
Don't you know what gas pressure is? Don't you know how to define gas?
Go ahead and define it for yourself.
No, I asked you a question. Moderator, would you ask him to answer my question, please, instead of pushing it back to me?
Then please go ahead and define it for us all. We're all listening, eager to hear your definition of what gas is.
I asked you, Craig.
Well, I was gonna say, if we can, if you can frame it and pull it into why it's relevant to what you're talking about right now, just so that our audience is all
Okay. The reason I'm asking to define gas pressure, because the definition alone already debunks his assertion that gas has weight down.
But you said define gas, not define gas pressure. Which one do you want, gas or gas pressure?
Do you have pressure without gas?
Yeah, you can have pressure without gas.
Let me redefine this. Will you have gas pressure without gas?
No.
Okay, great. So define gas, please.
The state of matter between solid and plasma.
Okay, that's very rudimentary. But anyway, do you know how gas behaves?
Yes.
And how does gas behave?
You tell me. Go ahead.
Why are you reversing the burden onto me? I thought you're this expert. I'm asking you a simple question. How does gas behave?
If you don't know, that's fine.
Oh, I know.
Well, tell us then. I'm not going to sit here and just tell you how things work on the globe, because I know how things work on the globe.
This has got nothing to do with the globe. This has got to do with gas behavior. Do you know how gas behaves, Craig?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
So can you tell us, please?
No, you can tell us.
Is this how this is going to happen, MDD? Is this guy just going to not answer my questions the whole night?
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of pushing the conversation, it would be nice if we had.
How gas behaves, then bring it up. I'm not going to sit here and give you definitions of things. I have no intention of doing that. If you have a point about how gas behaves, make the point.
I need you to define it so I can show you how it debunks your argument.
What's your definition? I know my definition.
So what is it, Craig?
I'll tell you later. I don't want it right now.
So you don't know. Okay, fine, guys. We'll take it. Craig doesn't know gas behavior. I'll define it for you because
there we go. Good point.
Yeah, because the nuclear physicist doesn't know how gas behavior works.
I never said that. I said
gas.
Okay, let's try to keep moving here.
Gas. Yeah, gas is a substance that moves around in all directions constantly, which has elastic collisions, which only changes direction with a collision. Temperature, pressure, volume, all those things cause differences in this gas pressure. In other words, gas doesn't go down, it goes in all directions. So when you take a container and you fill it with gas, that gas is bouncing around in all directions inside that container. So therefore, gas not going down. And when you said, let's put the gas in the container, you conceded then to have the gas pressure, we require containment.
We've gone through that. Universe contains the gas. You don't need to keep saying the same thing. But yeah, here's the thing. Gas only moves when it's got energy. Gas just doesn't move for no reason.
Great. So show me gas not having energy.
18 times, guys, as I'm in the middle of saying things. So yeah, good job there, Flatzoid. Being a perfect flat earther. Well done. Right, so gas, energy doesn't just come out of nowhere. Kinetic energy exists because of something happening. So let's take a balloon, right? You take that balloon and put air inside it. That air is under pressure. Excuse me, apologies. Right? And because that gas is under pressure in that balloon, it has kinetic energy. You pop that balloon, the kinetic energy makes the gas molecules move. But they only move until that kinetic energy is gone, because they have other things to be pressed against, other bits of atmosphere, right? But even in a container on Earth, there is a gradient of pressure. In this room that I'm in right now, there is a gradient of pressure. So showing that gas doesn't move in all directions freely, it shows that gas settles more towards the bottom than the top once the kinetic energy has gone. You're welcome for the free physics lesson, by the way. I normally charge my students £75 an hour.
Can I share my screen quickly?
Sure thing.
Let's see.
Ready when you are.
And by the way, again, gas pressure comes after containment, Craig, and then gas pressure gradients comes after that. Let's see.
Cool. Yeah, universe, gravity, both containers. No worries.
Oh, I'm
You
trying to
keep
see if I
saying
can.
the same thing. It doesn't change my answer.
Doesn't it change your answer? How does it not change your answer while I'm looking for getting this on screen?
Well, you can keep saying you need a container, and I will keep telling you that both gravity and the universe contain all of the gas.
Great. Okay. Can you see on screen?
Yeah, we got you out.
Okay. Now this is a container for Craig.
1 second. I don't see it right now. Give me 1 second to bring it up on my screen. So bear with me. Where is it?
We're ready, Flatzoid, I think. Sorry.
Okay. So this would be space on the outside. So in other words, a vacuum chamber on the other side, your universe, Craig. And then this would be a closed container, okay, which we would say as Earth. But now we're going to play it as closed. I'm going to pump some dense gas into there. Let's maybe pump some less dense gas into there. You see the less dense gas is moving faster than the denser gas, correct? Correct?
Okay.
And it's moving in all directions. Okay? What happens when I heat that up? They move faster, correct? Because of more kinetic energy.
Giving it more energy, yeah.
Okay, and what happens when I cool it down?
Yeah.
They're moving slow. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
Are they ever going to stop moving, Craig?
If you were able to get it to absolute zero, they would, yeah.
Do you get absolute zero in reality, Craig?
We don't know.
No, you don't. It's an impossibility.
Well, we don't know that. You just said.
No, it's literally an impossibility to get gas to go down to zero. Okay, now we're going to make Earth.
A very big claim. So before we continue, can you back up the claim that it's? Sorry, I apologize. Can you back up the claim that it would be completely impossible to have absolute zero?
Yes. Gas behavior by itself, it has what we call elastic collisions. It has perfect elastic collisions. Do you know what that means, Craig?
Okay, that doesn't prove that you can't have absolute zero.
Do you know what perfect elastic collisions means, Craig?
Instead of just asking me, just tell us.
I'm asking you because you seem to be very ignorant to gas pressure, to what gas is, how it behaves.
Pressure is. None of this is debunking gravity.
Okay, show me where is gas pooling down at the bottom here, Craig?
Well, you don't have gravity included in this simulation.
Sorry, this is a actual physics simulation.
Correct. Yeah, and it's a physics simulation that isn't taking gravity into account.
You know why they don't take gravity into account? For gas movement, Craig?
Because in this particular example that they are doing, they are removing gravity to make it simpler to understand.
Show me one gas law that takes gravity, please.
20.
Show me one gas law that takes gravity into account, please. Go ahead.
One point interrupt me while I'm in the middle of saying things. That's 21. Yeah. So what you are doing now, again, I'm going to respond to the thing you were saying. You are showing a simulation that simply has not included gravity. That's it.
Because gravity.
But okay, 24. I'll start again because he interrupted me. So showing a simulation that does not include gravity does not debunk gravity. I don't know why you would think it does.
Simple. Because no gas law in existence takes gravity into account. This is physics 101, mate.
I don't think you took physics, so I'm not sure that you could say.
Can you show me a gas law that takes gravity into account?
25. Okay. Laws don't need to take other things into account. They just describe things in isolation. multiple laws can work together at the same time. Having a law saying one thing does not debunk another thing happening. For example, the universal law of gravitation, Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared. That is a law. It is the law of gravity. That law of gravity does not debunk electromagnetic theory existing. The forces created due to electromagnetic theory are a real thing. But just because the universal law of gravity exists doesn't debunk that. Just like gas laws can exist, they don't debunk the universal law of gravity. They just describe gas behavior in an isolated example.
Okay. While you're looking for the gas law that takes gravity into account, I'm going to open the system of Earth for you. What's happening to all that gas, Craig?
So just to be clear, you ignored what I said and just continued on waiting to speak. Now, again, your simulation does not take gravity into account. Therefore, it is not appropriate to try and debunk gravity with a simulation that simply does not include it.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you again. Can you provide any gas law that shows no gravity taken into, well, that shows gravity taken into account, please?
It's almost like you didn't listen to the words that came out of my mouth. No, because that's not what the purpose of a gas law is. Laws are individual things. I literally went through an explanation. You can have gas laws that will describe the behavior of gases in an isolated system with no gravity involved, but you can also have a law of gravity that doesn't talk about gas.
So gravity doesn't affect gas then?
28 times that he's interrupted me. It's
Is
amazing.
that, what childish behavior is this? Is this a debate, or is this a childish guy who fails to even understand physics, that fails to actually be a grown-up and answer me when I ask him questions, and literally interrupts me when I'm giving his rebuttal?
I didn't interrupt you. I've not interrupted you. I've been quiet when you've been speaking. Wait, it's my turn to talk and respond, but when I get to the middle of the sentence, you interrupt. I will start my sentence again. Please listen to what is saying coming out of my mouth, okay? Don't interrupt. You can have multiple laws at the same time. Gas laws just describe gas. They don't include gravity. They just describe gas on their own. But you also have the law of gravity, which describes how gravity works on its own. You can have multiple laws for multiple things that don't talk about other things. That does not debunk those other things existing. Is that clear?
Okay, so let's take atmospheric law, for instance. Do you know what Dalton's law is?
Yes, please tell us exactly what it is.
No, I asked you.
No, you didn't. You just asked me, do I know what it is? And then I asked you to tell me.
Simple.
I know what it is, yeah.
It's the partial... Why are you interrupting me?
I was in the middle of saying
No, I thought you don't interrupt. Okay. The
There's
partial
been
pressures.
interruptions, to be fair, on
Yeah.
both sides. So let's just try to
Okay.
give each other a little bit of space here. Go ahead, Flatzoid.
It's
You
the
can ask
partial...
your
Yeah.
question or-
In other words, it's the partial pressures that make up the 14.7 psi. In other words, it's a mixture of all gases, Craig. Okay? Do you know why Dalton's law doesn't take gravity into account? And it's literally what your atmospheric gradients are based upon?
Can you please tell us?
I'm asking you.
No, you didn't ask me. You asked me if I know what it is. I answered you, yes, I know what
And
it
I
is.
said, do you
then
know
my-
why?
And you just said, do I know what it is? And I said, yes. And my question in response to you was, yes, please tell us why.
Clean your ears.
Please tell us my question.
Clean your ears out. I asked you, do you know why it doesn't take gravity into account?
Those were not the words you said.
Those were the words I said.
Okay, let's just try to move on.
Yeah, so I'm waiting.
Anyway,
Question.
as a quick response to what you said before, actually, you know what? I can think of a gas law that takes gravity into account because pressure equals rho kT, which includes mass, and by extension includes gravity because
Rho.
all mass is equal mass. So, I mean, yeah, there is gas laws that do include gravity because they include mass. So,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
That's false.
I forgive you, Flatzoid. I absolutely 100%. I'm not sure why you're saying sorry, but just to be good, I do forgive you.
Because that's false.
What P equals rho kT is false.
No, the false, you trying to false equivocate gravity now to buoyancy.
I didn't do that at all.
Rho, what's rho?
Rho depends on what you're describing. Rho can be different things depending on the equation. I wasn't talking about buoyancy. The P equals rho kT is a gas law, not buoyancy.
You're trying to put gravity in there with buoyancy due to rho. Thanks.
I didn't mention buoyancy once. Why are you bringing up buoyancy?
What does rho stand for?
In what? Rho in buoyancy stands for the volume displaced.
Displacement, exactly. Gas has displacement, Craig.
We're not talking about buoyancy. So, I don't know.
So gravity then's not there. Well done. So it's not gravity. By your own admission, it's not gravity then.
I do want to just step in right quick, and just because we have been going down a totally different path, just basically.
That's okay. Just quickly, one thing.
Sure thing.
The G in buoyancy is the gravity, not the rho. So
That's acceleration. G means acceleration.
Due to gravity, yeah, that's why it's G.
So is gravity acceleration?
Gravity causes acceleration. Yeah, that's the G, acceleration due to gravity.
So G is not gravity then, it's acceleration.
It's the acceleration due to...
No, it's the acceleration constant. It is not gravity, it's the acceleration constant.
Right, a citation that says that the G in the equation for buoyancy does not stand for the acceleration due to gravity.
You literally just said it's acceleration, not gravity. You said gravity causes the acceleration. So if G stands for acceleration, it's not gravity, Craig.
Yeah, no, to be clear, the G stands for acceleration due to gravity.
So the G is not gravity.
Just because we've gone so far down into other topics here, and the topic for tonight's
still
is flat versus globe. So I do want to give you both, up to a minute here, just to just bring us back in and explain, just for the sake of our audience, why what we're talking about would indicate your model over the other. So we'll start with you, Flatzoid.
Okay, great. Yeah. So in summary, it's simple. Craig needs gravity to pull gas down. Due to gas behavior and natural laws, even the Joule's expansion of free gas, and every gas law in existence, and the second law of thermodynamics, really requires gravity to be a force of exponential, can't pronounce it, so Afrikaans, magnitude, which is impossible. Even given gravity as a force, it can't do anything to gas because it's physics 101. Gas has no direction to gas. Gravity has no direction to gas. So if you're claiming gas go down, you need to be able to demonstrate it. They can't, and therefore debunks the globe. On the other hand, flat earth biblical cosmology, we have containment. Therefore, we have a dynamic gradient system.
All right, over to you, FTFE. Can take up to a minute and a half about.
Wow, how to be so wrong in a few sentences. Gravity is empirically shown to be a fact. The fact that we have a pressure gradient shows that there's an acceleration downwards and shows that gas does not move freely in all directions. If gas moved freely in all directions all of the time, then there would not be a gradient. If, as the flat earthers like to claim, high pressure always goes to low pressure, then we would constantly have an upward rushing of wind, except we don't because there's a downward acceleration of the atmosphere due to gravity. The prediction is that there will be a pressure gradient. It matches the prediction of the globe model. Flatzoid has done the same thing that all flat earthers do and just not understood the globe model, strawmanned my position, and then because of his strawman claimed that he is right. It's just all flat earthers do. Everyone that knows physics knows that I'm right. Simple as that.
Would you be able to steel man the flat earth argument for why we have pressure gradients?
No, because there is no conclusive flat earth argument. I've heard many.
So you don't know. Well done.
Give me a specific model and I'll steel man it.
Flat earth contained model. Why we have pressure gradients. I've said it multiple times in the stream.
Yeah, but there's many different versions. So
biblical. Go to the biblical cosmology. How's that?
I don't care about biblical cosmology.
Well, that's the flat earth model.
It's not.
It is.
So
Sudden respond here.
I will attempt to steelman at least one position, which is a position I've been told many times, right? And that Steelman is that gases are produced at sea level, therefore there is more gas down here and less up there. Is that correct?
Avogadro's law. Well done.
Right. Okay. I can debunk that because there is no extra production of gases.
No one says there's extra production, so that's a straw man. Well done.
But if there's no production, there's just an exchange. The amount of gases that there are never changes.
Do you drive a
That's
car? Do you drive a car, Craig?
it. I was in the middle. That's what I said.
I thought you're finished. I thought you're finished. Do you drive a car, Craig?
No, I was doing this as though I was about to say something else, and in the middle of my sentence.
Before we get down to meta debate, just carry on there and finish your thought. So good.
I forget my thought because he interrupted me. Right. So yeah, the layers of the atmosphere are it is gradiated. There is pressure gradient. If there was a production of gases and gas expanded equally in all directions all of the time, that would necessitate there being an upward rushing of gas to the areas of lower pressure. That is, unless there is something stopping the high pressure moving to the low pressure areas. That is according to physics. In physics, in reality, right, what we see is we open a container in a vacuum chamber, like you showed, the gas will rush into that vacuum chamber because the high pressure went to the low pressure area. But in reality, in the atmosphere, we do not see the high pressure rushing to the low pressure. The reason we do not see the high pressure rushing to the low pressure is because of a downward acceleration created by gravity. Simple as that.
Okay, I just have to point out, you failed to show any gas law that shows gravity pulls it down. Secondly, that's a straw man saying gas will be upward wind, when you are literally claiming gas go down, go boom, boom. So in other words, if we stick something in a vacuum chamber and we remove the gas, then object in the vacuum chamber should now get lighter because you don't have gas pushing down on it anymore. The fact that it gets heavier is because the air around it is pushing from all directions, Craig. This debunks your claim that gravity makes gas go down.
Again, you didn't address the fact that there is not high pressure moving to low pressure.
Okay,
right?
I can do that.
What is stopping the high pressure moving to low pressure?
There is. It's called a storm, Craig. Do you know what a storm is?
No. So let's just talk about the atmospheric gradient. Don't change the subject.
A storm.
The atmosphere, 33. Yeah, so the atmospheric gradient is at sea level. There is 14.7 psi. As you raise up, it decreases in altitude. What is stopping the high pressure at sea level anywhere in the world at any time rushing upwards to the lower pressure? What is stopping that happening?
Multiple variables. How gas pressure describes it. It's got multiple variables. Pressure changes, temperature changes, volume changes, the amount of gas. Not a difficult thing to understand if you understand the whole Earth is in a container, Craig. So the pressure gradient is in a container. Do you know what dynamic means?
Yeah, you didn't answer my question. What is stopping, physically stopping, the high pressure moving to the low pressure? Why is there not high pressure moving to low pressure?
We live in a dynamic system.
The dynamic system doesn't change the fact that the air pressure has a gradient everywhere in the world. That just because we have a dynamic system, it doesn't stop there. And a dynamic system would change, if it's just due to a dynamic system, then that air pressure gradient wouldn't be constant all of the time. They have not answered the question why there is not the high pressure rushing to low pressure. There has to be something physically stopping it. Please tell me what it is.
We live in a dynamic system. Where is the highest concentration of gases?
At sea level. So
Okay. Do you know what Boltz? Do you know what I'm still talking? Do you know what Boltzmann const? I'm still giving my point, Craig.
I was saying something.
I'm still giving my point. I didn't stop talking. I was still talking, making my point.
We'll let you make your point there. Flatzoid.
Thank you.
Let's try to carry on.
Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning, just like Craig. I'm going to start from the beginning because he rudely interrupted me. Okay,
Let's be clear.
so, and he's still interrupting me. Okay, Craig, we live, and again,
Let's let Flatzoid carry on here. Just if you can hold your thought, we will come full circle. Don't worry, I'm not going to put a stop to it, but we'll have to let him carry on just for the sake of the discussion.
okay, but I must say I'm having fun, thanks. Okay, we live in a dynamic system, Craig. The concentration of gases is at ground level, okay? Things actually change how a gas behaves based on temperature, pressure, and volume. Now I'm asking you, based on this, do you know what Boltzmann's constant is?
Yes, please tell us what it is.
Again, just like I've asked all the time, I'm asking him a question, he refuses to answer me. Ryan?
Actually, your question was, do I know what it is? My answer is yes, and then my question
And that
to you is,
follows up to answer, if you know what it is, please explain it to the audience. How's that?
what you first, please tell us.
I asked you, Craig.
No, you didn't. Ask
I
me
think
what it is.
there's going to be a theme going forward. So yeah, I think we've already been on this hill a few times. So Flatzoid, if you want to go ahead, I think.
Okay, I'm going to close the
keep
statement on
circling
gas.
if you
Yeah,
don't.
can I do a
Okay.
closing statement on this subject, and then we can move to Horizon then? Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, based on Craig being a total girly girl that can't actually debate properly, gas pressure requires containment. This is substantiated by every single gas law in existence. Gravity not having any direction on gas. Gas has behavior. And as he said, he conceded himself, he cannot demonstrate it because you need containment to demonstrate the thing he says does not need containment. So that's my statement based on gas pressure. And that's why gravity cannot do anything, even given a force. So therefore, it cannot be a globe.
Any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, good job on once again strawmanning everything about physics and the globe. He failed to answer the question, why is the high pressure not moving to low pressure? Just saying we have a dynamic system doesn't change the fact that there is a constant gradient. If it was just due to a dynamic system, there wouldn't be a constant gradient that stays the same, regardless of where you are in the world. Gravity is an empirical fact that's measured. The fact that we have a gradient is a result of gravity acting on the atmosphere. What Flatzoid has done is simply affirming the consequent. Gravity needs a container, atmospheric pressure needs a container, therefore there is a container. That is literally affirming the consequent. And anyway, gravity is a container, the universe is a container. What's your obsession with containers?
If you want to answer that.
Okay, yeah, then we can move on.
That is it.
Okay.
Or he doesn't need to.
No, I'll answer. It's fine.
You need to answer.
Oh, no, I do. Remember I asked you for demonstration how you can have gas pressure out containment? And you haven't been able to demonstrate it? So in other words, every gas law in existence validates my claim. Your claim is you don't need it and you can't demonstrate it. So you are begging the question and affirming the consequent. Well done.
I didn't affirm the consequent of anything because I haven't included my conclusion in the thing that I was saying.
Yes, you did. You said gravity pulls gas down. No containment needed. That's affirming the consequent. Anyway, can we move into the horizon now? Because that's also something I find that Craig doesn't know what it is.
I mean, I definitely know, and everyone who has brain cells knows that I know. What you're going to do is strawman the globe position on the horizon and refraction, and pretend that the horizon is not a thing that it is, and just say a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense in physics. I know exactly how this is going to go. It's fine. Yeah, please tell me how the horizon disproves the globe.
Simple. It's an optical illusional effect. It's an apparent position where the sky meets the ground. It's not physically meeting the ground, and we can demonstrate bottom-up obstruction on flat surfaces with many variables, and you guys need it to be physical. Oh, and we see too far.
Yeah, the horizon is a physical thing. That's why we can see it. What we see specifically at the time depends on atmospheric refraction. But let's be clear. The light has to bounce off of something to come to our eyes to be able to see it. That means there has to be a physical thing for the light to bounce off of for us to see it. We see a horizon. Therefore, the light is bouncing off of the horizon and coming to our eyes.
Not exactly.
Too far simply ignores refractive variables.
Not exactly, Craig. Okay, I'm going to first tell you. Will you be able to define horizon for us? And secondly, I have to correct you. Light gets bounced off physical water or the ground, not the horizon. Horizon is an apparent position, Craig. So would you please be able to bring the definition up for horizon as you claimed it's physical?
Yes, the definition of bounding, in fact, the etymology of the word is bounding circle. It comes from the Greek word literally meaning bounding circle.
Nope. It comes from the word horizontal. Horizontal comes from the word horizon.
No, it does not. The literal word horizon comes from a Greek word meaning bounding circle.
So can you please bring the definition up for everybody with horizon, please?
38.
Can you bring the...
Yeah, anyone can go and look it up themselves. Just go and anyone right now, go and Google.
No, I want you to do it, please.
I don't need to, because anyone that's watching can do this themselves and see that we are. In fact, this is what I would like everybody watching on my channel, on what Nate Debate's channel, the 7 people watching on Flatzoid's channel. I'd like all of you to Google
7? Oh, shame. You think so?
meaning of horizon and bounding circle, and see what you find out about the etymology of the word horizon and where it came from, because you will find it is derived from a Greek word meaning bounding circle.
Um,
And if
You said, I think Flatzoid said he was willing to screen share.
Yeah, I'm going to.
See some of the floor there.
I want to, but I first want him to bring the definition up. While he's doing that, I'm getting something on screen here on my side.
Oh.
Yeah. But I want to bring up something. But can he quickly just do us a favor and show us the definition on screen, please? I think that's a fair thing to ask. Agreed, Ryan? Because he made a claim it's physical.
I mean, I can't force him to do it. I can ask if you want to.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'll listen to you.
fine, I mean, if he really wants me to embarrass him live, I don't mind. Let me just put that up for you guys so you can see it as well. Do you need to see my limits video?
Spoiler, I did look it up, but it's not up to me.
Right, horizon, noun. Oxford Old French, Modern French horizon, earlier, from Latin horizontium.
Horizontal.
Greek. I'm in the middle of, do you have impulse control issues? Can you not let me finish what I'm doing?
Sorry, I'm just pointing out it's horizontal.
Well, except it doesn't say that's what I'm reading here. So if you just be quiet and listen to the things I'm pointing out, then that would be wonderful. Lovely. So, horizon, and this bit specifically, from the Greek horizon, I'm not sure if this is the correct pronunciation or not, but kaiklos, which means bounding circle, from horizon, bound limit, divide, separate, from horos, boundary, landmark. So the etymology of the word horizon literally comes from the Greek word kalixos, meaning bounding circle. There we go.
So not physical then. Where you said it says physical. You know what boundary means?
Yes, and that means a circle around you.
Yeah. So if I got a field of view,
Visible.
so if I got a field of view, is that physical?
You're seeing a physical boundary around you. That's all you can see.
No. You see physical ground. Okay. Is the sky physical, Craig?
No one said the sky is physical.
Well, that's what the horizon is. The sky and the ground appearing to meet.
Well, according to this, it's a bounding circle. And specifically, it is an equidistant circle all around you.
I agree.
Because the blue.
Equidistant circle, exactly. Which is based on a field of view, which is optical.
Well, no, it's based on the fact that the Earth is a globe and there's a physical horizon. There is nothing about our eyes that mean that we would not be able to see like past the horizon. In fact, there's literally no reason on a flat Earth that you would have a horizon. And the claim that things disappear bottom up on a flat plane is simply false, and I've debunked that many times.
I've done many demonstrations showing it, but anyway, that's a straw man. But anyway, that's a straw man saying you can't get a horizon on a flat Earth, and that just shows your ignorance. Can I share my screen? There we go. I'm going to share my screen quickly on the definition.
Oh, so we're just going to are we?
So just before we do move on, I think FTFE was trying to inject there.
Oh, okay,
so
sorry.
Something you wanted to? Yeah, let's go back to our main screen for just 1 second here, and we'll let FTFE get his thoughts out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you can bring up the definition of the word horizon, right? But that doesn't mean that that changes the etymology or that there is other definitions as well. Words have multiple definitions, right? But the literal meaning
is optical.
I do apologize. It's very dry air here at the moment. That's why I'm talking.
You're all right. We didn't even hear that.
Yeah, so the literal meaning of the word horizon, where it originally came from, the Greek word kalaxis, meaning bounding circle, equidistant around you. And that matches the predictions of the globe. There's no reason on the flat Earth for a horizon.
Okay, again, it literally stands for optical. That's what you just said. Field of view. Do you understand? Field of view is optical. Is the ground physically 360 degrees around you at a point, Craig?
Is the ground 360 degrees around you? Yes.
Physically, like as in physically, or does it carry on past that 360 degree limit?
Yeah, but I can't see
so it's not physical boundary then, it's field of view. Maybe you should look up the Greek etymology word for everybody and show them the etymology shows it's optical.
Yeah, can I have like maybe him muted when I'm speaking, because he doesn't have the ability to not interrupt me.
I was correcting you.
I do apologize. Your mic slightly is cutting out when other people are talking, so it is hard to notice when you're getting overspoke. So even right now, when you were speaking and I started speaking, it cut you right out. But Flatzoid.
I don't know why that happens, but yeah, maybe when I'm talking, just mute Flatzoid till I'm done, because he doesn't have the ability to have impulse control.
Projection.
Which is always quite fun.
We got 10 minutes, so
have control. So it's incredible because I'll be in the middle of a sentence, right? So let's be clear about the horizon specifically. The globe claim is that the horizon is a circle equidistant around you. It is an effect of the curve of the Earth, right? It is a physical limitation to what you can see because the curve of the Earth is getting in the way. That doesn't mean that there's no land beyond it. It just means you can't see that land beyond it because the land in front of it got in the way because the Earth is curved. To be absolutely 100% clear, the horizon is an effect of the curve of the Earth. And to say anything other is a straw man of the globe position.
Okay, great. So I got on screen, horizon, the line at which the Earth's surface and sky appear to meet. Does it say physically meet or appear to meet, Craig?
That says appear to meet.
Okay, but
because it's not physical.
Great. So the horizon is the apparent curve, okay, that separates the surface. So what does apparent mean, Craig?
It means that it's apparently there.
Okay, and what is perspective? Is perspective physical?
That question makes no sense.
Is perspective physical? So if I look out in the distance and I see converging railway tracks, does it physically converge, Craig?
No, of course it doesn't.
So
cows that aren't small, so they're just far away.
Great. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen again for what I wanted to show earlier, because now I've made my point that it's not physical.
How does that debunk the globe position, though? I mean, if you're not agreeing with me, then you are strawmanning the globe position. That's the thing.
No, that's not how strawmans work. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't make it a... No. That's not how strawmans work. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't make it a strawman.
You are strawmanning the globe position. That's it.
Can you see?
You don't know what the position is, so you're strawmanning it.
Can you see on screen, Craig?
Yes, I can. It's a boat hidden by the curve of the Earth.
Is it? So you would say that is hidden by the curve of the Earth, that boat?
It appears to be, but I'd have to see the video that stills from.
Yeah, okay. So that's hidden by the Earth curve. Is that showing bottom obstruction?
Point, let me finish, right? It could be, depending on where this was taken from, it could be in a swell that is a little bit further out.
So not Earth curve then?
That doesn't debunk that things go over the curve of the Earth because it is in a swell.
So not Earth curve then?
Again, right, you can also watch boats go out when there isn't swells and they still disappear bottom first. Just because there is a swell in the ocean as you go out, which is actually quite normal when you're going out from sandbanks because the surface of the water isn't flat, it's actually changed by the topography of what's underneath it and the gravitational pull. There is certain occasions where boats bob up and down within that swell. However, that does not change the fact when you're at sea state 0 and there is no swells in the middle of the ocean, you can still watch other boats disappear bottom first.
Great. So you agree then, not Earth curve causing this bottom up obstruction, which we see now?
I don't know. I said it could be.
If it's a swell, let's say if it's a swell, would you agree that's not Earth curve?
42.
If it's
42.
if it's
If you let me finish my sentence, then maybe you will know.
I am trying to present something to you and give an argument, and you refuse to answer me.
Or you interrupt.
We're both talking, so
Or you
yeah, let's finish up. But we can, like I say, move into some muted rounds here just for the last couple minutes.
That's gonna work.
Clean this up.
That will work perfect.
It's fine as long as Flatzoid doesn't interrupt me when I'm in the middle of a thought. Then it's absolutely fine. But let me
Carry on.
be clear with my response without an interruption. In this circumstance, I do not know because I do not know where this was taken or what the conditions are. There are certain times when a boat can disappear bottom first because it's in a swell, but it can also come back. That does not stop the fact that when there is no swells, you can also see boats disappear bottom up.
I agree, because it's optical. Okay, now swell, just to clarify, you agree if it's a swell, it's not Earth curve.
Both can exist.
If it is caused by a swell, as you put it, would that mean it's Earth curve? This picture, the screenshot I've taken now.
I don't know.
It's a yes or no?
Again, I don't know if that boat is in a swell or if it's disappearing.
If it is a swell.
The circumstances. If it is in a swell, then no, that will not be the boat going over the horizon because it's in a swell.
Okay. See, the boat has risen up.
Yeah, so it's clearly in a swell, but that does not stop boats disappearing bottom first that can never be brought back. But when it is sea state 0, 0 waves, 0 swells, the same thing happens as a boat moves away from you. That's nothing to do with perspective. Things can't disappear bottom first on a flat plane for no reason.
Remember I said we can demonstrate things having the same effect on flat surfaces, but we'll get to that now. You would agree now this boat has risen up because it was in a swell.
This particular boat has clearly not gone over the horizon yet.
Has that back boat gone over the horizon now?
I do not know. I do not know the stills that this is from.
Remember, this boat in front is closer now. That boat is further away. Has it gone over the curve now? Because that other boat is on top of the swell now, correct?
Again, I do not know the conditions of this.
Perfect. No, it's perfect. I'm just trying to get you to understand that it's not Earth curve. What's going on here?
In this particular picture, it may not be Earth curve. It may not be going over the horizon. That does not stop there being instances where it goes over the horizon due to the curve of the Earth.
Okay, cool. So we can summarize then, it's not always Earth curve. It can be demonstrated not to be Earth curve then.
There is times when a boat can disappear bottom first because of the conditions of the water. However, that does not stop things disappearing bottom first when those conditions do not exist.
So again, we can then reiterate, because we can demonstrate this not always showing bottom obstruction because of earth curve, it then nullifies the claim that only earth curve causes bottom-up obstruction.
That's not a claim we make.
Oh, but we say we can do it on flat surfaces, and you says no, that's impossible.
But that's not a flat surface. There's waves.
Oh no, we can. I'm going to show you demonstrations on flat surfaces as well. Demonstrations.
You do. Every single right. Okay, what I'm going to do is make a prediction before you do. The demonstration you will show will have the camera below the surface of the thing, at least half the way, right? Which would indicate, if we were to equate this to a person at the beach, them being buried with half of their eyeballs covered. That's the prediction that I'm making. Please show your example.
Okay, before we do that, I'm first going to show the video that we just saw. Just a piece of it so you can see how it's moving in and out. And the reason I did this specifically because this is 9 miles out. So yeah, there shouldn't be any earth curve. Anyway, that's just to show a point that Globies love to be dishonest and take still images of something and say, oh, behind a wall of water, so therefore earth curve. This is showing why that's not the case. I'm going... sorry?
So what you're doing right now is poisoning the well, because that's not something I've ever done. And it's not something that
I said Globers. Did I say you?
Are you debating other Globers or are you debating me?
Are you not a Glober?
But but I don't do the thing that you said. So not all Globers do what you just said. And in fact, I don't know of any Glober that's ever done that and claimed a wave as earth curve. You just said a thing with no evidence because it backs up your religious beliefs. Now, please, let's get to your demonstration of something disappearing bottom first on a flat surface. I am eager with anticipation.
Many. But like I said, the point is you will concede that we do not have any claim that it's always earth curve. You agree it can be done by other things.
That's not a claim I've ever made, so I have no need to concede anything.
I just want to wait for my... what's the name to end? Okay, let's get to it. Just want to get to the point. Okay, let's do this. Share screen.
The claims that I've made rather than just,
But you claim the horizon's physical.
Yeah, that's why we can see it, because light is bounced off the physical thing.
Great. Okay, you can see on screen?
Yeah, let me make this big so everyone can see it on my side. Give me 1 second. That's what she said.
You're up on our screen.
Okay, cool.
Making
So-
some poor comedy over there.
So I've drawn a little small ship. That bottom red would be representing the hull, and this masting tape will just be folded to hold the ship upright at a 90 degree on the floor. So I'm not going to be able to go below the floor, Craig.
Do you have measurements of your floor to show it's flat?
I even put water on. You see that reflection?
Okay.
There's water. Okay. No. Okay, can you stop straw manning already? And what was his? Let's just quick. Oh, I'm still talking. What was your? What was your? What was your? What was?
Question.
What was?
Do you have measurements of it being flat, or are you just saying something?
It's literally based on a floor that's done by concrete. Last time I checked, concrete lies flat. Okay, so anyway,
do you have measurements that you didn't answer?
Concrete is lying level.
On Flatzoid. We're going to let him respond.
So just saying concrete lies flat isn't a measurement, because no, it doesn't always lie flat. It can have variations in it, lots and lots and lots.
If you put a slope
It's
into
a
it.
very, very specific question. Do you have measurements to show that this floor is perfectly flat? Yes.
I
or
don't
no?
need to worry about your straw man because you're scared of what I'm about to show. Now I'm going back to what was the claim he made, guys. I'm going to make a prediction that the next thing he shows, his camera is going to be below the floor. Did he not say that, guys? Okay, Craig. Are you going to concede that I can't go? Are you going to concede I cannot put my camera below the floor, Craig?
Back to what I was saying. Me asking a question can be a straw
Craig.
man. So just going to ask the question again, just to make sure I can get an answer from it.
Do you know what a
Do
straw
you
man
have
is? Do you know what a straw man is? Sorry, Ryan, this is my point. Every time I want to show him something and I want to talk to him and I ask him something, he's so dishonest. Craig, I'm talking to Ryan.
It seems like, if FTFE, if you got something that's related, I don't want to get into meta debate. Sorry, Flatzoid. So let's try to continue.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make a point here and he's literally trying to straw man and use semantics.
All right, I have, like I said, given the floor, we're going to do 1 minute back and forth until we get to the end here. So 1 minute for you, FTFE.
Me asking a question is not a straw man. Flatzoid's claim is that this is a flat surface. So I would like him to show that claim to be true by showing me a measurement to confirm that this is a flat surface instead of just saying it's a flat surface. It's not a straw man, it's a question. I'm done.
All right, and we'll bounce that back over. Over to you, Flatzoid.
First of all, concrete. When you pour concrete, it's liquid. It seeks level when at rest. In other words, flat. Okay. Second of all, if you don't give me a measurement of your flat dining floor, am I going to say that's not flat? No. So Shane, that's a straw man. Now we're going to go on to what my whole demonstration is. Showing that your claim that the camera has to be below eye level is false. Okay? And another point I could have brought up is, does refraction cause microabstraction? Which would be a yes too. Okay. Note I put some water there so it can give what you're doing. Look at that. The angular resolution is changing. Ooh, it's already getting worse. Can you tell me where you see curve in this floor so far, Craig?
10 seconds.
There we go. This is all got to do with the diffraction limit that I was trying.
That is your 10.
Okay.
Right, we'll bounce it back over to you, FTFE. You need to come off mute, FTFE. I'm so sorry.
I will concede 100% that no, you did not move the camera below the floor. However, at 0 point in that demonstration, did the boat disappear bottom first? At all, ever. What happened was the entire thing disappeared at the same time because of angular resolution, because the camera couldn't pick it up. So what you showed was that things that are too small to be seen disappear at the same time, not bottom first. If you can actually see the things that are big enough so that angular resolution isn't a problem, you can literally watch them disappear bottom first. And no amount of zooming will ever, ever, ever bring that bottom that has disappeared back. To be clear, in your demonstration, Flatzoid, that little boat did not at any time disappear bottom first. Thanks for disproving your point.
Okay, we'll bounce it back over to you, Flatzoid, and I'm going to try to keep you guys off mute and just ask you to kindly behave. And we'll try to keep it open for the last couple minutes here before we go into Q&A. So,
Sure. Yeah, that was just one demonstration. That demonstration was just showing a basic diffraction limit. You couldn't see the bottom of the boat because it was diffracted into the miraging or reflected water. Now I got another one trying to show you how these angles compress into the distance. This is a triangle I drew. All these blocks are actually the same height and it's lying flat on the floor. As I'm going down, it compresses away. You see how it's getting less and less visible further away? Because this is showing how the angle gets limited and compresses with distance. Just like you see when a boat or anything goes over the ocean. It moves away, and that's why you can't see the large angle anymore. The large angle would be the floor. So that's just that demonstration. And now I can show you an actual demonstration again where I'm on a flat, aluminium surface having bottle caps bottom-up obstruction. I'm going to show that now when it's my turn.
Okay, 1 minute for you there, FT.
Again, to be clear, nothing disappeared bottom first in anything that you showed. So it doesn't prove your point. In fact, it disproves it. And any time you show this floor, I'm just going to ask you for measurements of the floor being flat. Excuse me. Apologies. Yeah. Unless you can show me measurements of the floor being flat, I will dismiss your claim that the floor is flat. Anything asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. But even if that floor is flat, it doesn't show things disappearing bottom up in either of those demonstrations. When something has disappeared bottom first, even when it's big enough to see because of angular resolution, it will never come back.
Okay, 1 minute over to you.
Okay, while I'm looking for that, remember what we said, floor swells. So when something goes into a swell and we're trying to zoom it back in, will you see the bottom of that boat, Craig? You can answer, it's fine.
In a still picture, though, if a boat's in a swell, it's going to be going up and down. That's different to something that has gone over the horizon and it's in sea that is still. Nothing will bring it back. There's no swells involved, right? We can remove swells from the equation and say there's no swells in this water. Boats will still disappear bottom first and be large enough to never be zoomed back.
Okay, so would you then agree with me that parallax is a thing? The further away an object is, the slower it's going to appear to rise or fall.
Parallax is the thing. I believe it's the entity of the yellow lantern core that was trapped within the green lantern core's battery for a long time, which is why green lantern rings were susceptible.
Can you be
to yellow.
serious, please?
Flatzoid.
Yeah, can you be serious, please?
He's the entity of the yellow lantern cores.
Does cause of parallax give something like a boat in a swell further away, cause it to appear slower to rise or sink compared to something closer?
Parallax makes things that are further away appear to move less than things that are closer.
Great. So if something's in a swell further away, would it seem like it's staying behind in a swell for a long time?
No, because swells usually go up and down. There's waves, and it would be going up and down. But again, remove swells from the equation. Let's go to the middle of the ocean at sea state 0, right? Which is when water's like glass. That's sea state 0. There's no waves at all. In the middle of the ocean, far enough away from the topography underneath to make a massive difference. At that time, when there's no swells or anything around, the boats will still disappear bottom first and not be able to be brought back. Simple as that.
Okay. I'm going to debunk that with a video shortly. I'm just trying to get this video that I was trying to bring. I've got it now. I'm going to share. Okay. Share screen.
Just look there.
So insults, that's what the guy does when they lose people.
That wasn't
Okay.
an insult.
So there we go. There we go.
I don't get it.
This is on my mixing bench. This is an aluminium flat bar. It's physically manufactured to be flat. Okay. Now, obviously, this is sideways because I took it sideways, but you're going to take to show bottom obstruction sideways as well. This is just the point. Notice my camera is above the eye line. You see this bolt on the top here? That's raised for reference because that bolt is above the aluminium bar. So that's to give reference to show you I don't go below it. Okay, Craig? Correct? Okay. Now see I'm above, I'm zooming in. Can you see the bottom of that? Well, let's just start here, the closest cap. Can you see the bottom of it?
Yeah, but you do know that part of the lens
okay.
is covered on the
No. It's above. I'm literally showing you reference with a bolt that's above. Ooh, wait. That's called diffraction, Craig. I'm still making my point. I'm still making my point.
Him so that I can respond.
I'm still
Yeah, we
making,
have to let him be able to respond and we're trying to engage with
but I'm
him.
still making my point.
Okay, can you please mute Flatzoid?
But I'm still making my point, Craig. Stop over talking me. I'm making my point, Craig. It's my time.
But you asked me a question.
Yes, which you can answer in your time. It's my time. I'm making a point. Be a grown-up.
So I would like to answer the question.
In your
We're
time.
gonna let him answer the question. I'm so sorry, Flatzoid.
So 1 minute.
That's bias. That's bias. No, that's bias. That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
We'll try to carry on.
Yeah, so
That's rubbish.
This camera is slightly covered on the left side of the lens. You can see that by the fact it is darker on the left than the rest of it. You have my exact prediction of half of it being obscured instead of actually being the entire lens above the thing that you are comparing to. Also, you have no measurements to show that it is flat. Again, you just said a thing.
All right, sorry for putting you on the mute there. I just figured where you're sharing screen, you won't forget where you're going with that there. So let's carry on, Flatzoid.
Sorry, I have to call you out on that, Ryan. That's a bit biased, mate. I was making my point still. So I'm supposed to be making my point the minute, and he was literally interrupting me while I was making my point. So can we please, in future, if I'm making my point, don't mute me? Because that's not fair, mate. Now on screen, Craig. On screen, Craig, I've got three, like I was saying again, I got three things, okay? I've got this bolt on the top showing reference. I'm above, okay? That thing you see, that little on the left, that's called diffraction. That's literally diffraction. That's what it is, Craig. Now we got the closest cap, which you see the whole thing. The second cap, which you see less of the bottom. And there's another bolt exactly like this one, which you can't see none of it. By the way, you know that one that bolt? It's painted red on the bottom. Can you see it? And yes, it's an aluminium flat bar. It's literally manufactured to be flat. So you trying to, nah, it's not flat, is you running away that I can demonstrate things having bottom-up obstruction on flat surfaces. Thank you.
Right. Once again, the bolt is in the middle and the left side of it is slightly covered. However, that does not change the fact that you just saying it's manufactured flat is not evidence. Show that it's manufactured flat. Show me the evidence that what you are having there is flat instead of just saying it. I don't give a smeg if you say it's manufactured flat. Prove it is flat. Don't just say it.
Aluminium flat bar.
All right. Yeah. Again, that's just saying it. Show me where it specifically says it's manufactured to be exactly flat. Show me that.
Okay.
Where do you have that written down that it says that?
Okay, I'll get it for you. Because Craig doesn't know how to actually just say, yeah, I concede you can demonstrate flat on flat surfaces.
But you can't. You haven't shown that it's flat. That's the thing. You're saying it's flat. You're going, it's manufactured flat. But you're not showing that it's flat. You're just saying the thing. Why didn't you put a level along it all the way? Why didn't you test if it was flat?
Oh, really? I actually did, by the way.
All right. I think what we should do, if we're not going to move into that next topic, we should probably go into our Q&As. We do have lots of questions and lots of things that I think we will spiral into more conversation. And yeah, so I think this would be a good time to go into that. And I do want to say thank you to Flatzoid and FTFE for having the discussion. It's been lively and a lot of fun. And just want to remind everybody, if you haven't hit the like button, do so. It doesn't hurt you, I swear. It doesn't bite. Not hard anyways. All right, let's get into the super chats, guys. All right, so we have from Roger Ledwell. Thank you so much. We have the death of evolution cooking in an entropic stove. But the thing won't boil. Please send the recipe for the primordial soup.
Shout out to Roger. This is for you, Craig.
Good job, buddy. Gold star for you.
All right. No other thoughts there. Okay. Yes, I think that's maybe a commentary on a different subject that we do debate on modern day debates, so keep an eye out for those debates. Roger Ledwell, also a little bit off topic, I think, but let's see what we get out of it. He said the Big Bang makes a lot of noise.
Okay.
I can explain why, but it's a different debate.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any thoughts, I don't want to do you bad there, Roger, but it's a little, it's left field for sure.
Yeah, he's just, in other words, saying that it violates the first law of thermodynamics, so therefore impossible.
But the Big Bang doesn't violate the first law of thermodynamics because there was nothing created or destroyed. Every bit of energy that exists within the universe now existed at the point of the Big Bang.
And where did it come from, Craig?
No one knows.
I know. The ontological primitives. But anyway, let's move on to another debate. Because if we had to debate this, you're also going to suffer miserably.
Well, no, you might understand the Big Bang going model when you don't. So.
Well, remember, I wanted to debate biblical Earth, which would have been based on this ontological primitives tonight, and you don't debate biblical Earth. So
May
yeah,
as well think the Lantern cores is the true core because they're both books.
great.
Let's try to move on there, gents. LJ asks, at what height does the vacuum of space start at? It's for you, FTFE.
But there is no vacuum of space. Space is just a low pressure area, really low pressure. There is a gradient. The accepted line where we say this is the boundary between space and not space is approximately 100 kilometers, and it's the Kármán line. However, to suggest that there is a point where it goes from atmosphere to no atmosphere is just a straw man of the globe thing. We have a gradient that goes from 14.7 psi all the way up to not very much. Simple as that.
There we go.
It's Flatzoid.
Why space is a vacuum? Just had to point that out. That's my rebuttal to that.
You know, space isn't a vacuum. It's
Just had on screen.
yeah, it's a little article written by somebody that probably
I can bring
says-
multiple.
Yeah, but it's the entire scientific world knows that space is not a perfect vacuum because there's things in space.
So it is a vacuum, just not perfect vacuum. Great.
It's not a vacuum, it's a low pressure area.
Not a perfect vacuum.
If we're talking physics wise, anything low compared to high can be considered a vacuum. But when we're talking about the vacuum of space, it's not a perfect vacuum, it's just a low pressure area.
It's a separate system, therefore a vacuum.
We got to carry on. LJ, coming in with the second one, says, why don't we have non-CGI footage of space in 2024?
We do. SpaceX did lots recently. Very, very beautiful non-CGI footage that was live streamed. In fact, well, give me just 1 second. Let me hold this up so you can see it. Where is it? Right. There we go. Non-CGI footage of space taken on board the SpaceX Starship as it started its boost back and going back to Earth. You can even see the bits of ice particles coming out at the top from the cooling fluid. So yeah, this is non-CGI. The flat earthers will claim that it's CGI, but that's just a claim. It's not. I don't care if you say it is.
Is it in space?
I've had footage of Earth since the 1940s from space.
Is that in space?
Yes.
But you haven't shown us a demonstration that you can violate all gas laws to have the claimed space.
Well, it went to space. There's no gas laws being violated. It went to space.
All right, let's carry on. Matters Now asking, how does Flatzoid explain the direct F-camera feed from the Starship going to space and seeing a curve that was obviously not CGI?
If you guys know anything about production, you can easily do those productions, mate. It's all just a show.
It's fake because it has to be.
Yeah, because it violates natural law to claim it goes to space.
No, it doesn't. There's no natural laws.
You haven't demonstrated it yet. Remember, I get the last word. It's my super chat. So.
Yeah, but you don't know what natural laws are. So.
Oh, really? It's a tendency for everything to happen in nature. He's still over talking me while I'm supposed to get the final say. That's a sign. That's a sign of failure, by the way.
If he wants to respond to and you want to bounce it back, that's fine because we've been doing that the whole time. But yeah, if you want to wrap up your thought there, Vlad, so we go for it. And then if you
Okay.
just hold your thought, FT.
Shot. Yeah, the thought is first demonstrate the violation of gas laws, then you can claim its space is real.
All right, we'll carry on. LJ says, share your screen with real non-CGI footage of space.
Me?
That is from LJ, and he is always here to ask questions to our globe speakers. So, LJ, always a pleasure to have you here. And every time people share their screen, everybody sees my Dio background. I got caught.
Shout out to LJ.
Change video feed for you. Video. There we go. Non-CGI footage of space. This was taken with a Hasselblad camera in 1972. No CGI involved. Next.
Any thoughts there, Flatzoid? Or
No, same thing.
all right. Well, let's carry on there, everybody. And thank you once again to everybody who's putting into the super chats to entice our guests here to have more juicy discussion. So let's see as I scroll up. Mr. E-Man, actually, we got a few more about that. Kango44 says, for Flatzoid, please explain why it's harder to carry a weight up an inclined surface than along a flat surface. Please don't say stupid things, they say. Oh, you mean spicy cake? Stop that behavior.
This is simple.
Whatever your answer, can FTFE correct you, they say. Well, we're doing bouncing, but yeah, let's go back to the original question. Please explain why it's harder to carry a weight up an inclined surface than along a flat surface.
Expenditure of energy. Requires more energy to actually go up an incline than flat. It's as simple as that.
Why?
Because you have to require more distance to go up than to go forward. You require more energy to lift your leg up higher.
Why?
Expenditure of energy, Craig.
Yeah, why? Why? does it take
Because
more energy?
expenditure of energy. I don't know, don't you burn kilojoules every time you move, every time you yap that mouth of yours?
Yeah, but why does it take more energy to lift something up than
I
move
don't
it
know.
down?
You go ask yourself that, because if you don't understand how expenditure of energy works, it's not my problem.
Oh, no, I understand that's just words that you said, but you never gave a mechanism for why it's harder to go up and down.
When you move, you burn calories. That is expenditure of energy. Therefore, it's harder to move upwards than forward.
You get the last word there.
Potentially just saying things, whereas the reason why it's harder is simple. It's because of
You fucking
Wow. Remember, gravity is not a force.
gravity. Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity. Gravity.
Wow.
Getting into the memes now. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Let's carry on.
yeah.
Flatzoid, last word.
Great. Simple. Gravity is not a force, Craig. You trying to equate gravity as a force shows you're not just ignorant to the subject, you're being willfully dishonest. Thank you.
the straw man. Gravity creates a force, not is a force.
All this talk about walking themselves making me tired, all right? I'm not like James.
Yeah.
Ripping all the time.
Shout out to James.
Yeah, we love James. Awesome. So, yeah, he was on the other day. So if you missed it,
With prostate, it was brilliant.
Word of modern day debate was on. Soon to be Dr. James. So yeah, have a check in on that once you're done here. Master E-Man says, "Can Flatzoid please present at least some evidence or measurements for the flatness of the Earth ever?"
Yes, it's called planar surveying. All planar surveying takes no Earth curve into account when doing surveying. There we go.
As a response to that, planar surveying purposely ignores the curvature of the Earth because it's done over such a short distance that the curvature of the Earth is irrelevant. However, if you do surveying over large distances, non-planar surveying, then you absolutely do 100% take the curvature of the Earth into account. In fact, with the transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of a parallel, every triangle they measured across the continental United States had a sum of angles greater than 180 degrees, indicating that the surface of the Earth is curved.
What's a triangle, Craig?
Let's carry on. Last word was for Flatzoid.
Yeah.
Carry on there. Again, especially with all these questions, my finger's going to be tired if I have to keep scrolling up after checking that live chat. I see you guys hanging out in there and appreciate it. Since you got so much to say with all those thumbs that are typing, why don't you hit that like button? Whether you're hanging here or hanging elsewhere, I don't mind helping out. All right. Matters Now says, why is there non-CGI footage of the moon passing over the Earth from the DIS VR satellite after show on Matters Now, hosted by Max?
Who's that for me? Probably me.
I think it's for you. So this one's from Max. It says, why is there non-CGI footage of the moon passing over the Earth from the DIS VR satellite?
First of all, you cannot claim space to be real if you haven't shown a demonstration how you can violate every gas law in history. I don't know how much time I have to answer this, but yeah, the moon's a real thing.
I think we'll just
are violated with gravity. There is no gas laws that say gravity cannot do this thing.
And I'm going to end that with, he failed to show us any gas law that does take gravity.
And I'm suggesting that by saying that it doesn't need to be, because gas laws are about gas, not about gravity.
And we breathe gas.
Last word. All right, that was the last word for you there, Flatzoid. So let's carry on. Mr. E-Man, if one more orbit traveled east to get to New Zealand from Antarctica, why is it that when you travel west from New Zealand, you get to Australia?
I don't understand the question, but okay. You're just moving in directions, mate. Well done.
You're moving specifically in directions that match the predictions of the globe.
Not actually.
Actually,
Nah, not actually. Do you know one orbit?
One more orbiting was matching the predictions of what they would expect to happen on the globe.
And you can place that exactly on a flat map, and it does the route that it should be on a flat map. Well done. Showing they never went straight through Antarctica as they claimed to do.
Could you look at
I got the final say, Craig.
exciting? There's a flat map, guys. Come on, let's see it.
All maps are flat. Next.
I was going to say, yeah, if you inject, I got to give it back to Flatzoid to end it off. It's just the rules of how we employ the debate. So, Mr. E-Man asks again, that one we just did. LJ to both, when you're standing in the middle of the road looking down at it, are you saying the clouds drop down to touch the street at the horizon?
No. Perspective.
No, I think he's not in the flat Earth position.
He's making fun of you claiming the horizon is physical, Craig. The fact that you don't get that.
No, I don't. If he is, then his grammar is not very good. It would be a straw man of my claim, because I didn't mention the clouds a single time in my description of the horizon. So it can't be mocking me, because it wasn't about anything that I said.
Can the clouds go behind the horizon, Craig?
Yeah.
So therefore, it's your claim, Craig. Well done.
I'd never said that at all during this debate, but and I've never said that when you look down, the circle around you is now your horizon. That's not what I said, and there's another straw man.
That is, we brought up the definition and claimed field of view is physical.
Last word is for FTFE.
Bounding circle means the limit of what you can see when you're looking out, not just looking at the floor and ignoring everything else that you can actually see.
LJ coming in again says, why can't we isolate, measure, and control gravity?
We can absolutely isolate the things that affect gravity. The prediction is that gravity is affected by both mass and distance between masses. That is the prediction. The same way that if we want to affect magnetism, the way that I would do that is to increase the coils of a copper wire next to a rotor. And that would then increase the magnetism that is happening. I didn't directly increase the magnets, I increased the coils that made the magnetic field stronger. The same way with the Cavendish experiment, we do the thing that affects gravity to see if it matches our predictions. This is just an example of flat earthers not understanding experiments and therefore saying they've debunked it.
Okay, so I can have a rebuttal and he can just finish it off. Cavendish is not an experiment. It doesn't even have a viable hypothesis. Thank you.
That's not true. There's absolutely a hypothesis, and that is that mass attracts mass.
All right. Matter's now coming in again, says, I'm confused, Flatzoid. All I heard was you deny gravity, like in my debate with you. This is coming from Ozian. Do you have any actual measurements of the entire Earth?
Yeah, planar surveying. And by the way, geodetic surveying comes after planar surveying. And 100 square miles is not a short distance. You don't even really observe further than that, do you?
You're doing bigger surveying than just planar, so
linking horizontals together. Triangle. Yeah. Remember when I asked you what's a triangle? Ouch.
Yeah, right with some of the three angles, that's what it is.
Yeah, linking horizontal baselines.
Yeah,
bingo.
So measured horizontals. Yeah, that's another debate we can have, which I would literally love to school you on.
Only means it can be on a spherical surface when the sum of the angles add up to greater than 180.
Do
It's called a sphere.
Do all the angles measure up more than 180, Craig?
Unless you ask a question.
Good job.
He didn't answer me, but okay.
Let's carry on there, guys. 'Cause, we're almost halfway through the super chats, and you guys are rocking them. So thank you so much to our speakers for keeping us moving through, and to all of our the people who are asking questions. Hopefully, we're getting to expound on what you're asking. Try to keep those questions friendly and relevant to what we're discussing. I don't want to have to skip over any, which you guys have all been good. So let's carry on. Tango 44 says, Flatzoid, large bodies of water have higher pressure than the sky above them. Why don't the oceans rush to fill the sky? Whatever your answer, same thing on FTFE to respond. So large bodies of water have higher pressure than the sky above them. Why don't oceans rush to fill the sky?
This is where gas is a different thing than liquids. Liquids are bonded, very dense. Gases are unbonded, always moving, never static, not very dense.
Yeah, but the pressure is still less than the other thing. So the entire pressure of the ocean is less than the entire pressure of the atmosphere. Yet for some crazy reason that I just can't seem to fathom, the high pressure isn't rushing to meet the...
I can tell you why.
Oh, yeah. There's a this is me talking, and I get the last word. The answer is, and it's no surprise, gravity.
I can tell you. We can take this as water. It's physical. How are you going to get something to pass through concrete, maybe?
You can pass stuff through concrete.
Last time I checked, when something's static, it doesn't move. But yeah.
Let's carry on. IC Spin says, a Flatzoid explanation for a starship ignoring the firmament. It's so stacked, it doesn't move.
Maybe it's just not getting to the firmament yet. Who knows?
So there's a firmament.
There has to be containment. Remember, I'm a biblical cosmologist, so
That's the begging the question.
sorry.
But
All natural laws show that we need containment. Firmament's containment. So
So let FTFE respond. We'll give you the last word there.
yeah, but gravity also is a thing, and gravity is also a law. And it's very interesting how you would accept some scientific laws, but not others, as though you are the arbiter of what can and can't be science. That would require you to be smart, but you're not.
first of all, gravity has never gone through science to be claimed as a scientific law. It's just said as a scientific law.
Next one coming in from. There we go. Sorry, we get so many questions. Mustafa Job says, I thought FTs were a U.S. thing. We're doomed. Flat FTs were a U.S. thing. We're doomed.
That's the FEs.
Yeah.
Let me see. E is close to T. There's an R in between them, so it may have been.
I think they were. Yeah, I think they're saying. That's just kind of a commentary of the meta, and that's thank you for.
I find it irony that the guy's trying to insult flat Earth as well. He can't even say FE.
Or he just did a typo, which is something that happens.
Or he's just as idiotic as he's trying to claim me to be.
On there, guys. And we appreciate the super chat. Sorry,
Yeah.
It's not really going to spur on positive discussion. LJ coming in again says, at what size does a sea, ocean, water start to curve?
Water's always curved. In fact, there's never a time when water is not curved. So I don't know what he means.
Wow. Physics 101. Water always finds level when at rest.
No, water doesn't have its own physics. Physics 101, all matter just reacts to forces acting on it.
So he's never used a water level before.
I did physics 101.
All right, let's just see here. Kango 44 coming in. Flatzoid. Air molecules work against the force of gravity as they move around. That's why we have pressure gradient. No collisions are perfectly elastic or inelastic. PV equals NKT, gas law. The gas
Ideal
is
gas.
at equilibrium, in a homogeneous gravitational field.
Great. So he's using ideal gas law and the Boltzmann equation. The Boltzmann constant is exactly why we have the pressure gradient, as I stated before. Why I asked Craig, do you know what the Boltzmann constant means?
Yeah, I do. Tell us what it is.
So, okay, I'm going to do my closing statement. Craig doesn't know, guys.
Well, I just said I do, and then I asked.
That was my closing statement. Craig doesn't know, guys.
But I do, so you're wrong.
Then tell us, Craig.
I asked you first. You tell us.
Okay, is this?
We're gonna do the you do.
Yeah,
we can
carry
do it
on.
again.
The guy doesn't know.
Carry on.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
The definition of the thing. If they want the definition, they better bloody tell me it.
I didn't tell the definition. I said, do you know what the Boltzmann constant is? That's what I asked you. You said, yes, you do. So that means, what is it, Craig? How does it work? Not you tell me because you are ignorant, but that's my closing statement. Can we move on? Thanks.
Well, I say you don't know what it is. That's my closing statement. Let's move on.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's carry on. Tango 44 asks again, ideal gas laws, law given the three parameters of temperature, density, and pressure. How the gas behaves is described by the equation of state. What force is causing the pressure? Flatzoid.
The gas. Gas causes a force as it presses upon a surface. It has elastic collision. So as soon as it has a collision, that's pressure. That's a force attributed.
Ooh. Oh, sorry.
In all directions, by the way, Craig, not just down.
Yeah, I've just debunked his entire argument.
Okay. Can I ask if he, because we've got time, if he can show us this quick debunk?
The gas law that includes gravity is the barometric formula. It's used to model the changes in the pressure of atmosphere at various heights above the Earth's surface. The formula is derived from the
Boyle's
ideal
law.
gas law, the gravitational force exerted on the mass of gas. Let me repeat that. The formula is derived from the ideal gas law combined with the gravitational force exerted on the mass of the gas. The standard form of the barometric formula takes into account the decrease in atmospheric pressure with height, along with temperature, gravitational acceleration, the mass of a mole of air, and the ideal gas constant. So
Boyle's law.
The formula, which is a gas law, includes gravity.
Boyle's law. And what's the name of that law that you just stated? Barometric. That's not a law. It's Boyle's law. Barometric pressure is based on Boyle's law, which is you assuming gravity is a thing. And again, you missed you missed the point when it literally said Boltzmann constant with temperature and pressure, and I can give you citation where Boltzmann constant literally says temperature gradient cannot exist due to gravity.
You were just wrong with what you said.
I can give citation.
Anywhere in what I said, it didn't say what you just said.
I can give citation.
Again, barometric law is a gas law that includes gravity.
Show us it's a gas law, please.
It's literally a gas. What do you mean? Show you it's a gas law? It's a gas law. Go and look it up if you don't believe me. It's expressed as P equals P0 times EXP times the negative of mgh over RT. That is the gas law. The barometric formula is the gas law.
And I just explained to you why it's false. I can give citation.
I mean, you saying it's false doesn't change the fact that
I'll make a video. I'll make a video giving citation to show you.
The scientific body of the world says that it's a gas law. All of them.
Citation showing you are talking bullshit.
All right, we're moving on there, fellas, because we are going to.
I just want to finish my sentence.
It's me that has to end. Can we move on? I can show citation that says he's talking rubbish.
All right,
Thank
Just
you.
to be fair, Flatzoid, you did open the floodgates
Yeah,
on this one and ask him to go down the path, so we gotta let him finish up. So
Being interrupted. That makes
Fair.
40. So again, the entire scientific body of the world, all of it, every single part, every single one of them says that it is a gas law versus you saying it's not. End of story. Right. Sorry.
Boyle's law does not take gravity into account. Boltzmann constant, literally by citation, says you cannot have pressure gradient due to temperature because of gravity. I'm sorry, gravity cannot cause the temperature gradient.
all right, let's carry on. And no worries there. all the time I have speakers that will say, "No, I really want to get this out," and you got to play it as it goes. It's an online space.
No, that's not against law.
No, you're not understanding that temperature gradient cannot be caused by gravity is based on Boltzmann constant, literally throwing it in the dustbin. I have citation for this.
That's the one I just read you, of course. The one I just read you that you're just denying because you have to.
You don't understand what you read.
With the next question, guys. Kango 44 asks, Flatzoid, you know a helium balloon goes up because of gravity, right?
No, it goes up because of displacement. Archimedes' principle existed 1,900 years before Newton was even born.
And it doesn't describe buoyancy.
Displacement. Do you know what displacement means, Craig?
Yeah, but it doesn't replace buoyancy.
Oh, so,
Let me be clear.
sorry,
I am
buoyancy
Mariner.
came after displacement, Archimedes' principle.
49. Yeah.
It was for me.
I was just a mariner.
It was for me a question.
My God.
It was for me a question. Can we move on? Can I finish my statement?
Let's let Flatzoid finish
Yeah,
up.
thank you.
Sorry.
I mean, I
Thank you. Sorry, Craig. Sorry.
Sorry, I forgive you.
Buoyancy.
I do forgive you.
Buoyancy is literally a hijacking of displacement and has no need for gravity. And by the way, your G in buoyancy is acceleration, not gravity. Thank you.
So my response to that is no, you cannot calculate how to what moves things unless you use the buoyancy equation, which includes the acceleration, and this is very important, due to gravity. That's literally what it stands for. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with it. It is G, rho G V, and that G stands for acceleration due to gravity.
And again, I will state.
It does not change.
I have the final say here, Craig. And again, I will state.
No,
Archimedes' principle worked.
does not.
Worked. They had ships working on the ocean due to displacement because of Archimedes' principle before gravity was even seen as a thing. It's literally just displacement, and acceleration is not gravity. Claiming it's due to gravity shows you don't even know what gravity is. You think it's a force, it's not a force. Get with the times, Craig.
Strawman.
We're going to carry on. So sorry.
If he strawmans me, I'm afraid I have to respond because he does this all of the time. I don't say gravity is a force, it creates a force. Stop strawmanning me. Gravity creates a force, and there is no way to calculate the buoyant force just using Archimedes' principle.
Oh, yes, I can. I can change G to Felicia.
So 50 interruptions. No, there is no way to calculate the buoyant force.
Yes, I can.
Just use
It's called changing G to Felicia.
51.
Are we finished here on the subject? Can we move on? This guy's wasting my time.
52. So again, there is no way to calculate the buoyant force just using Archimedes' principle.
Can change G to Felicia.
That doesn't change it being G.
It just means acceleration. In other words, it's acceleration due to displacement of the weight displacing the medium around it. There we go. Thanks, I could educate you.
Carry on. That was the last word. So sorry, FTFE. No, sorry, I got to place you on the view. We got to carry on. And I'm sure with the questions that we have, we will come full circle. Whatever you're thinking of, it's probably going to go, oh my goodness, because Super Chat is going to probably bring it up. So Mr. E-Man is asking, for a Flatzoid, what is the container made of?
That is a straw man because no one claimed to know anything what the container is made of. The argument is necessary antecedent, containment. What it's made of, never made that claim.
My response to that is literally affirming the consequent. Gas pressure needs a container, therefore there is a container. Literally the fallacious argument called affirming the consequent. Thank you.
Last word.
Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, Dalton's law. Free expansion of gas, Joule's law, Thomson's law, all require containment. Thank you very much. The second law of thermodynamics requires containment. Thank you.
All right, so FTF, we gotta give them the last word. To be fair, I know there's a lot of questions for Flatzoid, but I'm like I said, I'm trying to give you an open space to respond each time. So your pal Al asks for Flatzoid, and I'm sorry, FTF. Once again, there's a lot of questions for Flatzoid. Is down a direction?
It's relative.
Yes. That was the direction.
Yes, relative. Great.
All right, there we go. Let's move on from there. That seems like a good point. Just stop there. Let's just carry on. It seems like we got some huzzah for once. Matters Now asks, Flatzoid, since the Bible is false, how can you prove biblical cosmology? Let's debate biblical cosmology
I love that.
on modern day debate.
I would love that.
Or Matters Now or Juranism.
Yeah. Set up a time. I'd love to debate biblical cosmology with Ozian.
Get ready. You heard it here. Maybe that's something we'll get set up here shortly. So yeah, we'll fire off some messages once we wrap up. Berger and Legman. Craig is doing God's work. Flirts beware. That's what he says. It's more of a commentary. Thanks for that. Let's carry on.
Flying spaghetti monster. Less is moving the appendage.
Icy Spin says, Flatzoid, explain the equidistant horizon at sea state 0.
Easy. It's based on field of view. You have a limit to your field of vision. If you can, how can I put this in a way you can maybe visualize this? Take a pole and stick it out in front of you. That radius of that pole is going to be exactly the same all 360 degrees around you. That doesn't mean that the ground is physically stopping there. That just means your field of view is limited to that position, which means it's an optical boundary, not a physical boundary.
It doesn't explain a literal equidistant circle where you cannot see any further.
It literally does.
53. It does not explain an equidistant circle matching the predictions of the globe and atmospheric refraction. You literally, according to geometry, cannot have a horizon if the Earth is flat.
1.22 times the direct.
Yeah, that's based on the globe.
It's based on eyes, mate.
No, that's
Diameter of light and the aperture of the eye. Diffraction. Well done. We got actual math for this. I know you don't understand refraction because you think your hand's refracted 10 centimeters in front of your hand, which I'm still waiting for that video demonstration for, which has been a year and a half. But it's fine. I'm giving the final statement. Craig, you're a moron.
Well, you've asked a couple questions.
Yeah, so again, that.
Why is he talking? I thought I give the final statement. Next question. I didn't ask him a question. I made a statement and showed he doesn't understand refraction.
That equation that you used is based on globe math.
No, it's not. It's based on diffraction limits. Diffraction limit is wavelength of light based on the diameter of the eye. Nothing to do with the globe, Craig.
Based on anything other than Earth's radius, because all citations will say Earth's radius.
All right. So what we'll do is we are going to ask a question, let the person respond. I want you guys just to wait till they finish their thought and then, respond without interruption. If not, then I'll just, start popping mutes. You know how it goes. But either way, we just want to make sure we're just having just a little back and forth so we can get some thoughts on these.
And I just have to say, me and Craig are very passionate, though. We don't take this seriously, by the way, being like this to each other.
No, I do want to make sure.
That's not too bad. I mean, I could maybe stand 1 or 2 beers with him before.
The whole table, right? Yeah. Oh, the beer, right?
That's the thing. Shut up, you moron.
Just picking up the beer. You can't do this to beer. This is a crime. All right. Frode asks, Team Flat Earth, what is Aurora Borealis?
Plasma.
I mean, that's not wrong.
What else would it be?
I mean, there's a little bit more to it than just plasma, but yeah, it's not wrong when it says that it's kind of it's ionizing radiation interacting with our atmosphere, creating plasma at a frequency.
Yeah, so I don't understand why do we make it different on a flat Earth, though.
Which is where that would come from, the flat Earth, I guess is the question. We can predict where and when it will appear based on our knowledge of the sun and its current output cycle.
So we can't. Oh, okay. So it's plasma. Yeah. Okay. Great.
All right. Let's carry on. White asks, why is everything we observe with telescopes round, but the Earth is flat?
Flat. Round is also flat, by the way.
Any thoughts on FTFE?
Well, what we observe is specifically spherical, and we can see this by, having slightly different views of it at different times of the day and throughout the night when we're looking at things. Also, looking at Jupiter and seeing the moons literally orbiting it with a telescope myself was pretty good confirmation that it's something spherical. I don't see how there could be things orbiting it in a pattern that appears spherical if the thing itself wasn't spherical.
And I can easily bring up a video showing 4 things like Dave Weiss usually brings up, which one is spherical, which not, so I don't need to do that.
You got it. Flatzoid, this is from Kango44, coming at you again. Flatzoid, you said horizon came from the horizontal. Then when Craig showed it's from a bounding circle, you changed it to say it's optical.
No, I said horizontal comes from the word horizon. That's what I said. And I said the etymology of circle, boundary, is optical. He didn't want to go further with the etymological word. And yes, even his citation he brought up, optical.
Thoughts over there, or do you want to carry on?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And I might actually be wrong myself, to be honest. I may need to correct myself, but I don't think the aurora borealis is plasma. I might be wrong.
Ionized gas is plasma, is it not?
So,
But isn't ionized gas plasma?
it's not gas that's being changed. But I may have been wrong with that.
But
so
yeah.
I may have to correct.
Yeah, I'm not going to claim I know either. There we go.
All right, there we go. Always good to have a little humility, especially when we're debating lots of big topics, and we just can't know everything. That's just how she goes. So Mr. E-Man says, can Flatzoid identify how scientifically the container can be measured, how far away it is, and what it's made of? I think we had a similar one.
Yeah, first of all, that's a category error. That's not science. Science is specifically based on cause for effect. How far something is not scientific. And no, I can't tell you how far it is because all I know is based on natural law and observations. We require containment for gas pressure. And if we have gas pressure, therefore we have containment. It's the same as going to order a piece of steak. If the cow didn't exist to give you the steak, you can't have the steak.
No thoughts on over there? No, doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, gravity is the container.
All right.
And gravity is not a force, so it can't be a container.
Force again, don't storm at me. We've been through this. Creates a force.
Gravity creates gravity, guys. Remember that.
No, gravity creates a force.
What force?
The force due to gravity.
How does it create a force, Craig?
Because of the bending of space-time.
So a mathematical construct bends to make a force.
That is the fabric of the universe.
Show me space-time, Craig.
Here.
No, that's air. That's not space-time.
It's also space-time. The fabric of the universe is space-time. We can show that space-time is warped by mass.
No, you can't. It's a mathematical fourth dimension construct. It doesn't exist. It's literally mathematical.
Eddington experiment 1919 shows that big masses warp space-time.
No, it doesn't, but okay. Carry on.
All right. I see spin, Flatzoid. So about the evidence for flat Earth. Got any? They ask.
Yes, got lots. The fact we need containment to survive, and the fact we can do bottom-up obstruction on flat surfaces, the fact we can keep showing everything is optical, and the fact we keep showing everything based on the globe is hijacking things like perspective and planar surveying.
None of that was evidence the Earth is globe. It was just saying things that he doesn't understand. None of the things he said was evidence of flat Earth. Sorry, it was just saying things he doesn't understand about the globe. It's this saying that something isn't right on your thing doesn't mean that the Earth is flat. And again, gravity contains the atmosphere. No problem there.
So again, I finish off with gravity is not a force to be able to give the containment. And again, based on gas laws, there is no gravity. Based on physics, gravity can't even do anything to the direction of gas, as gas behavior debunks the notion gravity pulls it down. Yeah.
White asks again. Sorry, FTFE, we got to move on. White asks again, can you explain what meteors are and how they enter the atmosphere if the Earth has a dome? If so, what is the dome made of? A Rubbermaid bowl?
Do I have to answer this again? It's the same thing. I don't know what it's made of. I don't know where it is. Who knows where the meteor came from? Maybe it fell off the dome. Maybe it came inside the dome. Maybe it spontaneously came out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah, some of these might have came in right around the same time, and they might have not seen that question was already asked. So sorry, we've already expounded on that, and I think we've gotten as much on that as we're going to get. So
Yeah.
Count Discalcula asks, the longest line of sight photograph taken is 443 kilometers. Please both explain why you can't take a photograph of Madagascar from Africa's coast. Hint, curve. I'll give you the first minute FTFE because you've had only a handful of questions.
To be fair, that is Mr. Strawman of the flat Earth thing, because the angular resolution would be too small. Atmospheric fog, or even if the Earth was flat, you wouldn't be able to see across the entire Earth because it's too big. I could not stand on one side of the Earth and look at Mount Everest on the other if the Earth was flat, because Earth is far too big, and compared to that, Mount Everest is far too small. So that question is, to be fair to the flat Earth side, a little bit of a straw man of the flat Earth thing.
Big ups to Craig. Correct. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Let's carry on. We are getting wound down on some of the super chats, and a big thank you to our audience for all the engagement here. We really appreciate it. So let's try to whip through these last. We got about 10 or so more, maybe 15. GT says, why are flat earthers still given a platform? We'll just cap that one there, and I'll just say it would seem that based on our numbers, we're having a lot of fun. We got great numbers here. We got people who truly believe they're defending here tonight. So, I think that it is important that we have these discussions, especially.
And I think that everybody's enjoying it, so why not?
The truth is that we're just paid by NASA to put on this great.
You heard it here. He's confessed.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right, so either way, RGT, we're going to keep doing that because not only does our audience enjoy it, but it's just important not only to, like I say, have this specific discussion potentially where you see this happening in lots of spaces, but also it's important to learn how to have discussion, so not everybody's walking around being a contentious troll. Get it out here at Modern Day Debate. Keep it away from your family, all right? Tango44 says, Flatzoid, in your boat example, your boat disappeared in totality, not bottom first. So just to be clear, you did not show bottom-up obstruction on a flat surface.
It was about the resolution limit. That's all. It was showing diffraction limit. And if I used a different camera, yes, it would have showed bottom up.
Lovely thing. I challenge you to use a different camera.
Okay.
And show it bottom up.
I can show you another demonstration now where we have bottom obstruction on flat surfaces with greater resolution.
Show it bottom up. I would love to see that.
Okay.
Did you say you're going to share a screen?
Do you want me to show it now?
I thought you said you were. If you wanted to,
I can.
You're welcome to.
If you guys want to. I'll quickly see if I can get it.
No problem. We'll take a moment and entertain the super chat. And once again, there's still just under 600 people watching, so make sure you're hitting that like button. We really, like I say, appreciate the audience. Somebody made a commentary on your shirt. It says just the word fart. It says don't fart. I see something. I don't want to know what's going on with the rest of that shirt. That's what we really want to know. But you let me know when you get that up there. Let's see if I can run through another question here. What motivation? Let's see if I can find one for you. It looks like most of them are for you, Flatzoid. So let's just see.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, good. I managed to waffle right through it. There we go.
Sorry. Okay, you can see on screen, you can see everything. Look what happens when we add refraction. Just opening the door. Bottom up obstruction coming in. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Hold on. I haven't seen that. Give me a second. I can press the roll on my screen. I can't see Jordan. Give me 1 sec.
Just let us know when you're ready. We're all seeing it here on Modern Day Debate.
Just do that again. Sorry.
And you see everything, and it's opening the door for refraction to come in, and 3, 2, 1, bottom up obstruction. Here we go. Bottom up obstruction.
And what is this? Where is this?
On a floor. and just opening a door. Shout out to Sky Free for this demonstration. I can show many others as well.
Yeah, but I mean, again, what is it? Flat?
Yep, floor, flat floor. Showing its bottom-up obstruction due to optical effects.
No one's denying that refraction can do a thing, but refraction on the ocean works a certain way, not that way.
Okay.
Let's carry on. Hanko44 asks, Flatzoid, in your boat example, your boat disappeared in totality,
You said that already.
not bottom first. So just to be clear, you did not show bottom-up obstruction on a flat surface.
It was part of it, just to show diffraction limit, yeah. And then I showed the other one with the limiting angles, and then if we had more time, I could have gone more to show giving up bottom obstruction due to limiting angles. That's why I was giving different parts of showing it. That's why I showed on the aluminium surface for Craig with the bottle caps. And yeah, aluminium flat bars are flat.
Yeah, if I go over the same one again, I really do read out the same way, and I'm like, this, and then we find out in other debates that it really was a separate question, and people are like, you missed my chat.
And-
I know.
And I just got to point out, it's 4:20 in the morning. I had 3 hours sleep the previous night and had no sleep today.
All right, we'll get rolling then.
To be fair to Flatzoid, I know what it's like debating late. I'm in the UK. It's 2:20 here, not late here. So I do appreciate him taking the time to do this, and I think we should all appreciate that. He is mostly human and does need sleep.
I would have thanks, Craig.
Mostly human. What is going on here? What's baked in there? All right, so Matt Hightower will watch the Starship flight this week. Very clear picture of globe curvature. All right, so Matt, you got your question in there, or I shouldn't say question, but your
Statement.
Your statement. So yeah, if anybody wants to go check out what Matt is talking about there, feel free after the debate.
You can go watch Star Wars too. That's just as good.
Keeping you on there. All right, so RGT.
When you say Star Wars 2, let me be clear here. When you say Star Wars 2, do you mean Attack of the Clones?
Yeah.
Or do you
That brilliant, not brilliant one. I don't like clones. Clones is useless.
No.
I'm a bit of an OG fan. I mean, especially when you watch something like Clash of the Titans from 1980, which came out 3 years later, and you're like, whoa, that is a bad-looking horse.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about how well they did in Star Wars. Wow. All
Let's
right,
be
so
clear, everyone here. There is only 2 good movies in the Star Wars franchise. Okay?
Please don't say Millennium Menace.
boy, we are going to get into a new debate. You keep that up. All right, RGT asks, ask website to explain the discovery of Neptune.
They actually saw it with a telescope before they actually did the math. So
Okay, so as a brief response to that, there is sightings of a planet that was now known to be Neptune before we actually discovered Neptune. We didn't know what it was or where it was going to be, we just saw it. What happened was we noticed perturbations in the orbit of Uranus. We noticed that at a certain time in its orbit, it did something a bit weird, which didn't match Kepler's laws and Newton's laws. So what we did was we did a little bit of maths that said, well, if there is another gravitational body here, it will explain the strange thing happening in Uranus orbit. And then they looked in that place that they made the prediction of and discovered Neptune. And then based on Neptune's orbit, realized that later on they'd actually seen it in telescopes previously as well. But they had never predicted or discovered it in its orbit until the perturbations of Uranus was the thing that was noticed.
Thoughts on the other side, or do you want to carry
No.
on?
that's fine.
All right, beautiful. Let's see what else we got in here, guys, and thank you so much once again. Let's see. I'll just read this last one here, and then I'll just keep scrolling up. Matt Hightower asked, why does a line of Starlink satellites disappear at a point higher than the apparent horizon?
Things get out of view. Just like an airplane gets out of view. There we go.
What he means is you can actually see the Starlink satellites come from the horizon and then disappear into space.
Remember when you told us about the horizons?
Oh, hold on, let me finish my point. Right, these are coming from the horizon and then disappearing before they go and roll away. That's what it means. And the
Perspective.
reason for that is because they are just high enough above Earth to reflect the sunlight that you would be seeing on Earth if you were high enough for that to be your horizon. Once they have passed what is essentially their horizon, there's no longer any light from the sun to reflect off of them, which means they disappear at a point just above the horizon.
Yeah, it's called perspective. And the reason you still see the light is because the sun is just far away. It didn't go down.
Melodic lyrics says, can Flatzoid mathematically show that space violates gas laws?
Yes, second law of thermodynamics. Bring up the equation, then you'll see it violates gas laws.
Thermodynamics isn't an equation.
The second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy of a system will always increase.
What kind of system?
The isolates the universe. So if you have the universe as an isolated system, and you have an open system inside that universe, the air we breathe inside actually will excavate into space. So in other words, if you take the Joule's free expansion of gas law, it does not expand any energy, temperature change, or anything. It's free expansion into the available space.
But nothing in the second law of thermodynamics says that gravity can be a thing that acts on gas.
Can gravity overcome entropy, Craig?
Absolutely, it can stop it. But
What?
Let him finish this off.
59. The second law of thermodynamics talks about the entropy of the entire universe. You can have isolated systems of reversal of entropy, and gravity is one of the things that does that. And there's nothing about gravity that violates the second law of thermodynamics of the universe's entropy increasing.
Great. You want to prove that by demonstrating gas pressure without containment, please. Let's do it this way. You can even do it at Earth's core if you wanted to. Take a container, vacuum it out, take another container inside there with gas pressure and open it. See what happens.
None of that violates gravity. Very confused.
Gravity violates entropy. And you saying it can overcome entropy shows you think gravity can violate entropy. Well done.
Gravity does not violate the entropy of the universe in any way, shape, or form.
Do you know what the Joule's free expansion of gas is, Craig?
Yeah, I do. What is it?
The free expansion, no energy change of gas. Literally no temperature change, no energy change, just its free expansion instantaneously into the surrounding system.
Yeah, but once the kinetic energy is gone, there's no expansion. And gravity.
Remember I showed you a thing that says no gravity does.
Do I get to finish the sentence, Flatzoid? Is that okay?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Nothing about the second law of thermodynamics says that gravity cannot be a thing. There is nothing about the second law of thermodynamics that says gravity violates the universe's entropy increasing. Nothing at all.
So can you show me where it says gravity can hold gas down to overcome entropy?
The second law of thermodynamics isn't specifically about that. It's about the universe's entropy increasing. But
so that stops it from increasing then?
Gravity doing what it does not violate the entire universe's entropy increasing.
You get what you say. If you're claiming gravity stops gas from expanding into the surrounding system, you are claiming it overcomes entropy.
It doesn't overcome the entropy of the entire universe.
So in other words, gravity has no effect on the expansion of gas. So in other words, it cannot violate natural law.
Yeah, but again, gravity doing what it does to gas does not violate the natural entropy of the universe increasing. Unless you can describe it mathematically how gravity would violate the entropy of the universe increasing, you do not have it.
Joule's free expansion of gas law. Use that equation. There we go.
All right, Matt Hightower asks, what motivation does SpaceX have to fake launches? You can watch the things live. Elon's goal is to go to Mars. And what will the flat earthers say when they land on a round Mars?
I'm not going to divine one's motives. I can give many reasons why, but I'm not here to divine a person's motives.
500 years from now, a dad and his son are sitting together on Mars, and the boy looks up at his dad and says, "Daddy, is it true that we came to Mars 500 years ago in a starship?" The daddy says to him, "Don't be stupid, son. Mars is flat, we live in a dome, and Elon Musk wasn't real."
All right.
Brilliant.
Now, best of threes asks, if gravity bends the surface of water, why doesn't the surface resemble the hill and valleys that's underneath?
Actually, it does. Satellite data of the surface of the ocean shows that there is variations in the surface of the ocean that directly match the topography of the ocean floor. They literally measure the distance between the satellites and the ocean surface and the variations of it over long periods of time, and can use the variations in the height of the water to actually map the topography of the floor underneath it.
Yeah, the basins they're claiming. But note that these measurements are taken from a place that violates natural law,
Well,
and it's unverifiable as well. By the way, okay.
Look, SpaceX verified it the other day.
Okay. Next one, Crypto Roast says to FTFE, show Flatzoid the Mesos a rocket launch. It's exactly what they demand to see. No fisheye, no NASA, but they all run from it.
Rectilinear lenses still have distortion. This is the reason McToon.
Question for FTFE.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I can show flat earthers everything. In fact, I can strap a flat earther directly to a Suez rocket and send them into space, and then claim their eyeballs have been holographed by NASA to make them think that the Earth is round. There is no point giving a flat Earth evidence, because they will never accept evidence, because they need the Earth to be flat for that little thing to make them feel special inside.
Okay. I'm gonna comment.
Okay. All right. Kango 44. Oh my. Flatzoid, you know you can have triangles on curved surfaces, right? Nerves. Oh, that means
Yeah, it's very.
oh, here we go. Non-uniform rational B-splines. It's how everything is designed.
He's talking about spherical triangles. Not claiming spherical triangles don't exist. I'm claiming to get those spherical triangles, you first have to measure flat and then calculate based on observational, how can I put this, perspective, and because you believe it's a curve, make it curved.
Yeah, that's not how they is done.
Oh, yes, it is. Measured flat, calculated curved.
59. They literally measure the angles and compare it to what flat would be. And if the angles of a triangle add up to more than 180, that means that it's a spherical triangle and can only fit on a spherical surface.
Measured flat, calculated curved. There we go.
Those were words that no evidence behind it.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Kango 44 strikes again. He said, Orion, you did great. Oh, thank you. I can't imagine how fun, sub that word out, how fun it would be dealing with FTFE and Flatzoid, because we are having fun. I'm always chill. You know,
Flatzoid, I think you and I should just both apologize to Ryan, because you know that he's going to go and cry after this.
He's drinking something stronger after this.
Me? No, I'm behaving myself.
I do apologize for your therapist bill, but I'm not helping you with that.
Yeah, no, I'll save it for the doctor. Right? No, I'm kidding. No, I always have fun. I'm always chill. I'm always doing other things that are legal in my neck of the woods. So don't worry about that. Yadian asks for Craig, can you explain the Boltzmann constant and how it may have been misunderstood?
Yes. This is the game I'm not playing. People, can you explain this? Can you explain this? Can you explain this? Yeah, I can. There's no point, because I'm just going to be told that I'm wrong. But yeah, I can explain it. I've done it many times. You just go and watch my previous streams. But am I going to spend a bunch of time doing it now to just be told I'm wrong? No.
All you have to do is just say, I don't know.
Not even for Yadian? Okay. It's okay. He's got another question here, so we'll unpack a little bit more for you here, Yadian. And thank you so much for your super chat. Yadian asks, for Flatzoid, if I take a box 1 meter down, seal it, bring it to the surface, and open it from the top, the water will shoot out, even though it's water, not gas. Why does the ocean fill the air again?
Hydrostatics. Air compresses in a compression. So if air, remember, water can't compress, air can compress. So as soon as you bring it down, it's forcing it that way. So as soon as you go up, it has to increase. It's like how can I put this in a simple term that people can understand? If you fill a bottle of water up to the brim and you stick it in a freezer to freeze, it expands because it's ice. It expands. So when you take it out, it can rupture the bottle.
Thoughts on the other side?
No, I'm sorry. I was paying attention to the chat. I apologize.
Okay, it's all right. We are getting near the end here, so I do appreciate both of you for.
Yeah, please, I'm tired.
Yes, I understand. I'm tired too. I had my St. Patty's Day show yesterday, so my voice might be still recovering. Matt Hightower says, "Why does?" Ooh, actually, I think we might have already hit this one earlier. Yeah, why did the Starlink satellites disappear at a point higher than the apparent horizon? Yeah, we did that one. Yeah. So we are at the end, isn't
Yay.
that marvelous to say? So just where you wanted us to be, but I will give you each 1 minute to close your thoughts here. I'll start with FTFE, where you started out, Flatzoid, if you don't mind. So 1 minute on the floor, your closing thoughts on your discussion tonight.
Well, thank you for having me on, Ryan. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, James, and good luck with getting your doctorate finished. If you want to watch any more of me, you can find me on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FTFE1. What happens tonight is what happens in every flat earth debate. The flat earther, whether they understand it or not, just strawmanned a bunch of physics and blowed flames, and then said, well, because of my straw man, therefore I've debunked the globe. The issue is that no flat earther understands physics at all. What they have is a word salad mixture of concepts that they have no grasp of. And I refuse to play the game of just being asked to define something for them to just refuse the thing that I've said. If Flat Earth ever has evidence, then maybe a real debate will occur. Until then, I will always title my Flat Earth debates Flat Earth Debate.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Craig. And everybody, you can find Craig over at FTFE and Flatzoid. Let everybody know where you're at and your closing thoughts on our discussion here.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, Modern Database. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, James. Everything. I do wish the best. And thank you, Craig, for coming. Yes, I do have a channel, Flatzoid's Perspective. You'll find me on YouTube, where I go and embarrass people like Craig who just show ignorance and have fun with him. All that's happened tonight is he's failed to demonstrate anything he claims, calls it a straw man because he doesn't know how to rebut it, and shows his lack of physics acumen because he thinks he knows what he's talking about, and when asked a question he can't answer it, so rather wants to reverse the burden onto us. So rather go and watch it again and see over and over how the globe has floundered. Thanks.
All right, you got it. Well, thank you to both of our speakers. So we're going to fly on out and let our speakers go. But once again, big round of virtual applause to both of you. And yeah, don't mind me screaming some of my metal at you guys, since you already caught my background, my Dio background, every time you guys stop screen sharing. So yeah, we'll close it on out. And thanks again, everybody. Cheers.
With you, Ryan.
Cheers, dudes. Blessings. Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
See you later.
See ya.
Ah. Oh, man. Sov, what's up? Can you hear me?
Sorry, man. I was muted on my end. My bad. I didn't want to bleed through. Dude, you pounded his ass. I'm telling you. I mean, that was nothing but just a complete smackdown on this fool. I mean, he had to Google shit. You could see it. That's why he stalls time and shit. And then he finally had to read it to you, what you asked him. He didn't know anything about it. And he still won't consider it because it's going to break up his whole little narrative. But,
guys, sorry, I just got to stop quickly. I got a $200 Patreon
holy
from
cow.
Bradley Stone. Dude, huge shout out to you, man. Thank you very, very much. That's insane. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. $200. That's insane.
Yeah, man. That's sweet, man. I love that. That's yeah, he'll be able to take on the whole rugby team tonight. Now it's got loosened up like that. Holy cow.
That's huge blessings. Thank you very much, Bradley. That's like an insane amount, man. Really appreciate it. And I just want to find out, was there any super chats? Because I couldn't see any super chats because I was busy with Craig. So please tell me someone who saved the super chats.
Yeah, the super chats. They're, I can see them here, but I don't. Hold on.
Let me see if I can get them up on my side somehow. Yeah. But yeah, so sorry you were saying before I interrupted you, but thank you very much for the super chat again. The Patreon, dude. That was like,
yeah, but I don't. Oh. Yeah, the last super chat was from Roger Ludwell, and that was Talk Universe. That was just before just as you were
Oh,
starting.
okay. I got all the super chats here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm just gonna read them out quickly. Is that fine? Godzilla 37. Thank you very much. Your $5 super chat says you have to be cordial. I don't. Foo, Craig. $2 super chat from LJ. Thank you very much. He says, what character would Craig be in Dragon Ball Z? Which you asked. Retro Ball also $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, ask about the IV, the Cavendish cause equals distance. We couldn't even really get there, and you saw he was running away from that when we tried.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say thank you very much, Roger Ledwell, for your $2 super chat. Tick, tick, gravity, exactly. Another $2 super chat later, Craig. And another $2 super chat, Talk Universe. Thank you very much, Roger.
Yeah.
So,
Did you know the stream crashed about 10 minutes in?
I couldn't see. I thought it was just on my side.
It's still locked up.
The sound was still there.
Here it is.
The sound was still
I was
there.
on the wrong screen.
Okay, the sound was there, just the photo.
Right.
He just crashed on Craig's face. But so what I had to do is split my screen, split my monitor screen, and have MDD on one side and then the chat from yours on the other side. You know what I mean? I think Solve was doing something similar.
Sorry, guys. I think it was probably because of Zoom.
Yeah, probably.
I did that.
But there was still people in the chat.
Got the argument in, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your thoughts.
I was back and forth in the chat, and dude, the chat over on MDD looked to be like, from what I could see, mostly in your favor. Of course, you had a few globe trolls over there saying the same stupid shit as they always do. It was the same old usual suspects, Sean Hawkins, that group. And but I was saying his ass got pounded so hard tonight, he'll be able to take on the whole rugby team with no problem. That thing loosened up hard, boy. He's
But I mean, like I said, what do you think of the argument I brought up with Everest, which he had to end up contradicting himself?
Yep.
That's why I knew he was going to bring up that weight against the mountain.
He just did the same as what he usually does, didn't he? Exactly.
And that was his evidence that it worked too. Was a little cartoon of it. Nobody actually doing the test, no observational data, anything else like that. Oh, there was some guy a long time ago that hung a weight off of a mountain, and
he says it was,
like, oh really?
And he said it was contained. No, it wasn't. It wasn't contained next to a mountain. And they got another one that they tried recently, a few years back, with a laser, and it gave inconsistent results. Yeah, same mountain with a laser in a vacuum, it gave inconsistent results. So yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
I was sitting here with my Glock playing. I'm like, I'm pulling him up on the screen, and I'm sitting here like this, going, "Boom!"
Vicky kept WhatsApping me for little voice clips, effing this and effing that. And I keep language, effing this, that Craig. If I was, I'd effing this and it.
She put in the chat. I saw where she put in a chat. You guys can't hear all the cussing I'm doing to PJ right now.
But I mean, wow. All the times I asked him a question, he refused to answer me. Do you see what I did? I did what he did to you, Steelman, and he didn't even know how to Steelman it.
Nope.
No.
So he had to make another Steelman that I didn't even ask for.
See, that tells me somebody told him to do that.
All right.
He's getting information, and that's good because you made him stutter like the kid on the short bus. I'm not shitting you, man. You can tell when he's nervous, he starts rocking. He starts rocking around and twitching his head and looking all different ways and shit like that. I'd love to play poker with that dude. I'd clean out his super chat money in one hand.
He's so predictable.
I've seen
He's
that.
very predictable.
He's got so many tells. Yeah.
He's a big sack of tells, man. That's for real.
Oh, crazy.
But that Ryan, I'm glad you called that dude out.
Yeah, I had to because it was bias.
Bullshit.
A few times I'm busy making my statement. It's my turn. And he mutes me so Craig can talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to keep quiet. If he's going to be biased, I'm going to tell him.
So,
because it's not the first time he does this.
Well, somebody said something about James.
Yeah.
and you gave a shout out to James, and I put in the chat, and I said, yeah, James isn't a bad moderator. Maybe he can teach Ryan how to do it correctly.
Yeah, I like James. Yes, obviously he's had one or two very bad moderating debates. You know what I mean? But overall, I like even Ryan. He doesn't do bad sometimes. It's just lately he's been showing, especially in the flat earth debate, he has a bias. He
He's
does.
definitely got bias,
And it's
yeah.
unfortunate because Ryan as a person is not a bad guy.
No,
He's just he's biased.
Yeah.
you gotta look at it like you're just listening to the argument. You don't have an opinion one way or the other. You have to really distance yourself from that. And even in political debates, you know,
Absolutely.
you have biased moderators,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you have to take that out of the equation. That's why I say that, you know, the moderator should only be stepping in if the guy is like rambling on. And with my idea of you know, like CB communication, look, that guy can't even talk until I say I'm done. That other guy can't even talk because when I say I'm done, then you mute me and then he gets to talk. Because that's what he relies on is this. And if you limit your amount of response time, then you can't go on a soliloquy of insults. You want to get your point out. And if all you have is a soliloquy of insults, then that means that you didn't have a point.
Right.
And people see that.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what did he have at the end of the day, actually?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Panic.
No, that's all. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that dude was nervous as a whore in church. I'm not kidding you.
But I do like when I did move on to flat surfaces. Don't show me how that's a flat surface.
Yeah.
Did you measure it flat?
Yeah.
What's he wanting? A micro inches? I mean, come on, man. I was trying to get your attention in the chat, Flats. I was like, you want indication of flatness? Look at the reflection. It's a perfect reflection. That was
I
only
wanted to
indicated.
say
of
that.
flat
I was
surface.
actually looking at it, but that's why I said reflection, but I didn't get it out because he kept flipping over talking me. But I mean, it's so simple. Telling me, oh, you're below the flat bar. How do you know that's actually aluminium flat bar? It's literally manufactured to be flat. That's what an aluminium flat bar is.
Mm-hmm. It's tested. It has to be within a certain tolerance level of very sensitive instruments before it even leaves the shop.
Yeah, it's like insane. And he wants to tell me, oh, did you measure it yourself? Why must I measure it myself? It's literally manufactured flat.
Yeah.
It's the same as concrete. I mean, you know, you're doing construction. When you lie concrete, it lies flat.
Yep.
Of course.
I should have said this to him. So you're telling me that your mass attracting mass doesn't work for concrete now because you're saying it would be perpendicular to the center of Earth and over, let's say, 5 meters is supposed to show curve.
Right.
I should have actually said that, but yeah, I didn't get to that. But you understand why I say he might be Timmy with that laugh?
Exactly. I heard it. I was thinking that when he did it, I actually put it in the chat. I said, that's Timmy's giggle body right there. That's him.
It's like to the T.
And we already know he likes to play other characters because he goes in as another character in comments on posts and shit. So it doesn't look like they're from him. You know, I mean, Philip Craig, really? And you're the only one in the entire comment thread that's for Craig. And everything that you say sounds like Craig, Philip Craig. Come on, man. I bet you that's his middle name. I bet you his name's Craig Philip McNeil.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I just got no words. But it went exactly like I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
The guy's going to...
Usual.
And Ozian, he really thinks he has something. He wants to debate me on biblical earth.
Wow, he's annoying as well, that dude. He's just annoying.
That guy wouldn't know where to stick his head.
No.
I mean, look at the last time he came on with me.
With that damn clip he kept putting on with a different t-shirt.
Yeah.
Ozian,
I think he's turnable though. I do.
I think he's too dishonest.
Yeah.
I think he's willfully trying to be a Globie. He wants to be a glow. It doesn't matter what you're going to present. He's just going to, oh, no. He's going to do a Craig.
So it's basically his heart knows the truth, but the small hat in him goes for the shekels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, he's also trying to grow his channel at the moment. And he's buddies with, the whole Craig and, Katz and Mr., Simon Dan and all of them, that crew.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen if he decides, no, sorry, guys, it's flat? They'll all disown him, and probably he thinks he'll just lose his channel.
That's right.
And all his support.
I don't know, man. Would it be any different though than? Well, yeah, it would be, because it would be genuine. I was going to say, isn't it much different for these flat earthers that say, oh, now I'm a baller, I'm a globe earther now. I used to be a flat earther. It never goes that other way. It never goes that other way, because especially with these guys, as much and as loudly as they've blown their freaking mouths off, their pride will never let them concede. Never.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, look at when he tried to read that bigoted comment. Why are you still entertaining the flat earth? And it's like, yeah, that's exactly why I say we need flat earth.
Mhm.
Because you get people like that to show there's bigots out there that just don't, how can I put it? They want to be unfair because we don't have the same belief system as their cult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And really, that cult is mired in a dark entity. I'm sorry. It really is. And if anybody hasn't figured that out yet, I don't know what to tell you. That whole idea, people, it's like here, people want to celebrate freedom. Well, freedom is one thing, but total freedom is another. Freedom to live your life peacefully is one thing, but to just be a heathen and be hedonistic and shit, no, man. That's where it starts coming into problems. And that's exactly what they're after with this. That's why he couldn't wait. He has to say spaghetti monster because somebody else said that one time, and that's their little catchphrase. Their new one is word salad. But he had to say something about spaghetti monster. And to me, that's like a little kid who covers up his eyes and goes, "You can't see me now."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're trying to avoid accountability, and that's a bunch of shit because you know better. You are not unaccountable. And as much as you wish that you're unaccountable, you're not. It's just like in that movie, Nefarious. The guy says, "Well, I'm an atheist." He goes, "You pitiful meat sack. My father's kingdom is full of you guys." And he's like, "What?"
Crazy.
Meat sack. He goes, "Oh, so you want to discuss?" He says, "I know more theology than anybody you can bring in here to me." And that's when you realize who he really is, man. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, it's called Nefarious.
I must maybe look.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar though, but I've never seen it though.
It's a guy on death row, and he's got to be evaluated by a psychiatrist to make sure he's fit to be executed.
Oh, okay.
But the guy says, "No, I want to be executed." He goes, "But I want you to write my story." He says, "I'm possessed." He says, "I am not this guy." And he starts, and it's pretty soon you start getting to the idea, oh my God, this guy isn't crazy. This is real. He knows everything about this psychiatrist when he comes in, his girlfriend's name, where he went to school, what his grade point average, and knows everything about it right off the top of his head. And he's been tormenting this guy that he's possessing. And he says, "Oh yeah, we get in. All it takes is a yes. That's all it takes is a yes. If you agree to it." Sometimes it starts innocent. Grandma buys a Ouija board for a birthday or Christmas, and getting used to saying yes, just like a sales pitch, and getting your answers from beyond. That's our doorway in. And it's like the stuff this guy says is just like, whoa. He says, "Do you know how many slaves you have in the world today?" And he lists it, and he says, "That's more than at the height of the Roman Empire." And he says, "And you know what?" He says, 40% of them are sex slaves. He says, in this hate speech, he says, "I think I love you. We didn't even come up with that. You did that all on your own." And he points out that how this guy is pointing out freedom, what they have freedom to do is really just like, "Doest thou wilt, beeth the whole of the law." That's how they view freedom.
Yeah, just do what the hell you want. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
can't believe I haven't seen that. I'll have to watch
It's
that.
great.
Last
Another-
year, it came out.
I was going to say another good one. That's a really recent one too. It was an independent film. Another really good one. Oh Christ! I just had it on the tip of my tongue here. Oh, never mind. I'll think of it here in just a second, man. It's like whew, my brain ain't firing on all
I
fours.
see FTFE's poll was, is Flatzoid a Poe? And they voted no.
I gotta do that.
Shame. Hey,
I got
Tinchin, what's up, man? Yeah, it wasn't very difficult, to be honest. It was actually one of the easiest debates I've ever done, to be honest.
Oh man, he's
Because
done.
he's done already. I think he's just too how can I put it, guessed, because he was stressing this whole debate. He didn't know which way to turn.
Totally destroyed that idea. See, that's the thing that destroys him. This is why it's kryptonite. Gravity and gas behavior. Okay.
Just hold him to that.
Yes, because you're postulating impossible conditions from Jump Street with this whole model. Not only do you have gas pressure here without containment, but for some reason we have balls of gas forming in a void for God knows what reason would cause gas to come together, coalesce, and become an object so big that its own mass crushes in on it. I mean, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I mean, I
But I
thought
love
when
how
you put a gas under pressure, doesn't it turn into like a liquid?
Yeah, when it compresses a gas, it becomes a liquid.
So when's the part where it catches fire start? That's what I'm wondering.
Didn't you know when a sun supernovas, it gives water vapor?
Oh my God, really?
Because that's what they're claiming.
They know this with what? Oh, spectroscopy, right? I know all their answers.
Let me quickly show you guys something. This is what Craig was going on when he says, this is the gas law. It shows gravity because he sees the G.
I know, right?
Let's go through this quickly, and we laugh at Craig's idiocy because someone in his chat probably gave this to him. Probably Phil Bell. or Tony.
He spends a lot of time on his looking at his screen and like he's listening to somebody too.
Look at that. Note that the model calculation assumes a uniform temperature. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That is what I was trying to explain to him with the Boltzmann constant. It debunks the pressure gradient based on temperature gradient. And is therefore not a realistic model of the atmosphere.
But it says it right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he says it's a law. The temperature tends to decrease with height. So the model calculation will overestimate the pressure at a given height. So the development of the barometric formula makes use of the number of concepts from kinetic theory, such as ideal gas law, and associated molecule constants. In the exponential, the two terms have the units of energy. The numerator, mgh, which is gravitational potential energy, and the term kT is thermal energy. Now he reads gravitational potential energy and thinks that's gravity. Guys, what is potential energy? The potential to have acceleration.
Right. Stored energy.
So does the gas store energy? No, because it has perfect elastic collisions.
Yep.
He's an idiot. Oh man.
So yeah, I looked up the with my big ass dictionary I got here, right? I looked up
Oh, it's not-
level, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, horizon in this. This is from
Yeah.
1975. It says the bounding circle horizon properly of horizon, to bound, limit, from horos, boundary, limit, the line at which the sky and the earth or sea seem to meet, the boundary line of one's vision on the surface of the earth. A boundary line, and since it's 360 degrees around you, that would make it a no, not a circle, just like it said. Wow, how about that? Let's see, called the sensible, visible, or apparent horizon, hence the limit of one's experience, knowledge, or observation.
Mhm.
In astronomy, a plane extending as angles are not curves, right? To the direction of gravity from the eye of the observer to the celestial sphere. Now that's in astronomy, of course, but that's a lot of nonsense in there as well. But as
You
far as
understand everything you're reading there, though. Everything you're reading there is optical, correct?
yeah, here's
I see we got
horizontal, parallel to the
horizontal.
plane of the horizon, opposed to vertical.
Who's
Uh-huh.
this? Who's Carone?
Yeah. Hey, Karone, how's it going? Got someone else in.
This is just
And
Go on,
left.
Go on.
you find one of these, pick it up at a store.
Oh, that's awesome. But you see, that's why I wanted, if we had more time, I would have let Craig actually bring the etymology up to that Greek word. And it would literally say what it says. It means it's optical.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how's that? When you read his citation and he says horizontal, he tells me that's not what it means. Literally read it out.
Oh, it means something different in our world. I see.
Oh, man.
Okay.
But I see Matt is now doing the after show on me.
Oh yeah.
Would you guys like to do a review on that sometime?
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
That would be cool.
Because that would be funny.
He kind of reminds me. You guys know who John Lovitz is? He was
Yeah.
used to be on Saturday Night Live. He's been in some movies, and he used to do this character on SNL where he was this like compulsive liar, where he'd like, yeah, and so I am the Archduke of Canterbury. Yeah, I'm the Archduke of Canterbury. That's what it is, and that's what Ozian reminds me of. His whole way he looks around at stuff like, are you buying what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, like that.
Look what I put on screen, guys. My pleasure educating Craig. I'm putting it in the chat. Wow, Jeff C. Craig was right not to answer Flatzoid. Flatzoid baits people with questions. That's how debates work. You get people to answer questions to show they're wrong. Duh.
Yeah.
Holy
shit. Yeah, that's a ticket. Yeah, that's what's it.
Now I should come in. Oh, must I go in for 2 minutes? You guys want to come join? No, it's 5 a.m. I want to go sleep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. Dude, you kicked his ass with no sleep and a fucking toothache. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm still sitting with it. And I'm drugged up on the medication.
That's true.
Amazing.
See what a few push-ups can do.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing here. If you're getting ready to go off, because I know you want to go to sleep, if people are still wanting to be in brainiac mode a little bit, my son's got a live stream going.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
quickly put the link in. Everybody can go on there. But yeah, I think then tonight's show we'll review the after show and laugh at them.
Cool. I noticed Craig didn't stay on very long after the debate there on his show. He just kind of cut it down. He didn't have a lot to say about it.
is embarrassing. That's why.
Of course it
Because
was.
if he was so confident, he would have a lot more to just say than other than, oh no, I was beating him.
Yeah. Twice in 1 week. That's not gotta feel too
Oh.
good for him.
That's it.
I mean, you
That's it.
demolished him. I obliterated him.
That's the one. There's no pieces left for them. That's it. Nobody else can debate
But I,
him.
lo-
He's done.
but I laughed about his after show about you. He said, this was the best debate I've ever done. I was like, what?
Really?
For being beat.
We got them swords of kryptonite, man. The pressure sword of kryptonite. That's the whole thing right there. That kills them every time. They try to get this idea of gas having mass, and therefore it must be. This mass attracting mass is so ingrained in their minds that they have to have it, man.
That's crazy. But they're delusional. That's all we can say. It's the only thing they can do is be delusional, carry on staying in their delusional cult, and we can just keep showing them wrong. I know it's not really a debate anymore. This is more for the fun of it. But like I said, the reason I do this is as a hobby, and it's to bring people into the subject. Think about it. If we stop doing this, how many people are not going to come into the subject? A lot of people get into the subject through this.
It's true.
Even LJ says he found me through MDD. There's so many people that actually get through this subject because of these debates.
True.
Oh, Lou's already over on my son's channel.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, guys, pop over to Sov's channel then, Sov's son's channel. Support there, guys. I'm going to sleep now because my children are probably going to get up in an hour's time and ask for coffee.
Right on, man. Get some sleep, brother. Get some sleep.
The sun's about to come up. Let's put it that way.
Great job, Flats. That was an ass kicking. So I enjoyed watching that.
It was.
I appreciate you guys staying in.
It was a nice kicking.
man.
It was good to see after I mean, like I say, after Sov did it and then you finished him off. That's it, and nobody else can debate him now. He's in pieces.
I think he's going to think twice next time he wants to, right? Because he's probably going to say this stipulation. Oh, you can't talk about gravity. You can't talk about this.
Yeah. He won't want to do that.
The guy doesn't even know what a straw man is, too.
Not for a minute. Not for a minute.
Oh, it's
Dumber than
crazy.
shit.
But yeah, guys, I don't understand. No.
I know.
Yeah,
Vicky says she's been awake 20 hours. That's a long time for her, to be honest.
Dude, on par with me. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah, let me quickly work out how it. Let's see. It's Friday night. I went to sleep at 2:00 in the morning. Woke up at 6, so that's 4 hours. And I was awake till now.
Holy cow.
20 hours, same as Vicky. Yeah.
So I had 4 hours sleep for the whole weekend so far, guys.
I think
no, it ain't no good for you.
I think
No wonder why I feel this way.
yeah, I think Vicky watched Alan Norstrand live this morning walking his dog.
Oh yeah, he had a stream as well. Shout out to Alan. He had a stream. I haven't watched it yet though.
I haven't seen it. Vicky was there live. It's not like that to be up at that time in the morning.
Stretch yourself out good before you lay down on the rack, man. You'll wake up really refreshed, man.
Oh yeah.
It's,
I'm gonna get myself some warm honey.
Oh yeah,
Sleep.
yeah,
All right.
good idea, dude. Good idea.
Bit of warm honey milk, and then take a nap.
Yeah.
Because I know my brain's I'm gonna lie, then it's gonna go. That's the only thing about these debates afterwards. You want to lie, you want to sleep, but your brain wants to carry on thinking.
Yeah, I know, man. You can't turn that sucker off, man. So mine never goes off. I finally go to sleep, and like I'll wake up, some answer to something I was wondering about will pop into my head, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh, and I just say it. My wife will look at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to sleep. Cheers, guys. Thank you for coming. Appreciate all the support, guys. You rock.
Right on, Flatzoid. We'll see you next time, buddy.
See you.